Hello and welcome back to the CivicCentreIAS. This video presents you 50 most important topics that represent the current affairs of February 2025. These are the list of topics and we will be discussing in MCQ format for better understanding. Now let us start the session. With reference to mangroves, consider the following and given. These ecosystems thrive in high rainfall areas with temperatures ranging from 26 degrees Celsius to 35 degrees Celsius. Second, it is exclusively found in tropical regions. Third, Gharials inland mangrove forest is the Gujarat's first biodiversity heritage site. And asked, select the correct answer using the code given below. Just pause the video and try to attempt this question. This method will help you to analyze your performance. Now let us learn about it. Mangrove is a salt-tolerant plant which can be found in tropical and subtropical intertidal regions in high rainfall areas with temperatures ranging from 26 degrees Celsius to 35 degrees Celsius. They are adapted to survive in waterlogged soils, high salinity and frequent tidal surges and serve as crucial biodiversity refuges and act as bioshield against extreme climatic events. Additionally, the rural populations depend on mangroves for biomass-based livelihoods. Also, let us learn about Gharials mangroves. It was in news because the Gujarat state government has declared an area of 32.78 hectares in Gharials village of Kutch district as the state's first biodiversity heritage site. Here the Gharials mangrove is an inland mangrove in Gharials village that is in Gujarat. It is located 45 km from the Arabian Sea and 4 km from Kori Creek, which will never come in contact with seawater. Here inland mangrove means the mangroves which get either low or no direct connection to the seawater. And the inland side is full of dense mangroves and is unaffected by high tides with the soil remaining dry all year long. From this, the correct answer is option B. Here statement 1 is correct because the mangroves can thrive in high rainfall areas with temperatures ranging from 26 degrees Celsius to 35 degrees Celsius. And statement 2 is incorrect because the mangroves can be found in tropical and subtropical intertidal regions. And here statement 3 is correct because recently in September, the Gujarat state government has declared an area in Gharials village of Kutch district as the state's first biodiversity heritage site. This question has been taken with reference to UPSC previous year question, that is, which of the following regions of India has a combination of mangrove forest, evergreen forest and deciduous forest? And given North Coastal Andhra Pradesh, option B Southwest Bengal, option C Southern Saurashtra and option D Andaman and Nicobar Islands. So here the correct answer is option D. Mangroves are a group of trees and shrubs that live in the coastal intertidal zone as we have discussed in model question. And evergreen forests are forest ecosystems that are characterized by the presence of coniferous evergreen tree species such as pine, fir, hemlock, which retain their needles year-round. These forests are found in temperate regions around the world and experience varying amounts of rainfall and temperature extremes throughout the year. And deciduous forests are characterized by trees that shed their leaves annually, usually in the fall. Therefore, Andaman and Nicobar Islands has a combination of mangrove forest, evergreen forest and deciduous forest. Coming to the second question, consider the following statements regarding Project Waterworth. And given, it is a practice of using water efficiently and reducing waste. Second, it helps protect the environment, save money and ensure enough water for future generations. Third, the project will reach 5 major continents to promote sustainable development goals. And asked, which of the statements given above is or are incorrect? Now let us learn about it. It is a massive subsea cable network designed to enhance global internet connectivity, particularly focusing on connecting the United States, Brazil, South Africa, India and Australia. It is introduced by Meta and this subsea cable project will cross 50,000 kilometers in length. And it is the world's longest subsea cable project using the highest capacity technology available. Additionally, this project includes advanced engineering design to maintain cable resilience, building the longest 24 fiber pair cable project in the world and enhance overall speed of deployment. Also, it will enable greater economic cooperation, facilitate digital inclusion and open opportunities for technological development in these regions. For example, in India, a significant growth and investment in digital infrastructure is already seen. Waterworth will help accelerate this progress and support the country's ambitious plan for its digital economy. From this, the correct answer is option D. Here, statement 1 is incorrect because it is a massive subsea cable network designed to enhance global internet connectivity. And here, statement 2 is also incorrect because it helps protect the environment, save money, and ensure enough water for future generations. And statement 3 is also incorrect because the project particularly focusing on connecting United States, Brazil, South Africa, India, and Australia to enhance global internet connectivity. This question has been taken with reference to UPSC previous year question, that is, consider the following statements, and given statement 1 as some pipeline is a strategic route for Persian Gulf oil and natural gas shipments to Europe, and statement 2 as some pipeline connects the Red Sea with the Mediterranean Sea, and asked which of the following is correct in respect of the above statements. Here, statement 1 is correct because the summed pipeline is a strategic route for Persian Gulf oil and natural gas shipments to Europe and North America. And here, statement 2 is correct and is the correct explanation of statement 1. That is, summed pipeline is located in Egypt and connects the Red Sea with Mediterranean Sea, which works as a strategic route for Persian Gulf oil and natural gas shipments to Europe and North America. Therefore, the correct answer is option A. Now coming to the next question, with reference to Einstein ring, consider the following statements, and given it is a galaxy caused by gravitational lensing. Second, it helps to detect dark matter in the universe, and asked which of the statements given above is or are correct. Pause and try to attempt the question. An Einstein ring is a ring-shaped light phenomenon observed around a massive celestial object such as a galaxy or galaxy cluster caused by gravitational lensing. It occurs when the gravity of a massive object distorts and magnifies light from a more distant object lying directly behind it. Now coming to its mechanism, the phenomenon is a result of gravitational lensing, which is predicted by Einstein's general theory of relativity. This bending of light occurs when light passes through a gravitational field, causing it to curve. Significantly, Einstein rings provide insights to dark matter and the structure of the universe. Now, how can this be important for scientific research? That is, first, study of dark matter. Einstein rings offer a method for indirectly detecting dark matter, which does not interact with light but influences gravitational fields. Second, observing distinct galaxies with traditional methods. Third, cosmic expansion. That is, by examining Einstein rings, researchers can gather data on expansion of universe and the dynamics between foreground and background of cosmic objects. From this, the correct answer is option C. Here, statement 1 is correct, that is, it is a galaxy caused by gravitational lensing. And statement 2 is also correct because it helps to detect dark matter in the universe. This question is with reference to UPSC previous year question, that is, recently scientists observed the merger of Gyan black holes billions of light years away from the Earth. What is the significance of this observation? And given Higgs boson particles were detected. Second, gravitational waves were detected. Third, possibility of intergalactic space travel through wormhole was confirmed. And D, it enabled the scientists to understand singularity. Here, when two massive black holes merge, they create ripples in space-time called gravitational waves. And detecting these waves open a new window to the universe, allowing the scientists to study extremely violent and energetic events. Therefore, the correct answer is option B. Now coming to the next question. With reference to one nation, one time, consider the following statements, and given it aims to use India's own regional navigation system for time synchronization. Second, it will help improving emergency response coordination. Third, it requires amending Article 83 of the Indian Constitution. And asked which of the statements given above is or are correct. Now let us dive into it. Currently, India uses GPS satellites to determine the time down to milliseconds, and it is linked to Coordinated Universal Time. And here the One Nation One Time initiative mandates that all government activities will operate under a single time zone and prohibits the use of alternative time references unless explicitly permitted by it, and aims to collaborate with National Physical Laboratory and the Indian Space Research Organization to create technology and infrastructure to disseminate IST from 5 legal metrology laboratories across India, and to use India's own regional navigation system for the time synchronization to ensure the country's self-reliance and secure timekeeping system. This also includes legal, administrative, commercial, and official documents, which helps in boosting economic efficiency, national security, real-time applications, and the smooth operation of critical infrastructure. Now, how does one nation, one time will work? Basically, the official procedure has not been shared by the government. But currently, Indian time is 5 hours and 30 minutes ahead of Greenwich Mean Time. The National Physical Laboratory based in New Delhi is equipped with the advanced atomic clocks, losing only a second over millions of years. The National Physical Laboratory, after it receives data from NAVIC, that is Regional Navigation System, will disseminate reference times to 4 regional centers, that is in Ahmedabad, Bengaluru, Bhubaneswar and Guwahati through optical fiber, which will ensure that the time is uniformly accurate across the country. And here, each center is equipped with an atomic clock, creating robust support for precious timing. Initially, the need for an indigenous time system was felt during Kargil War of 1999, and experts opine that India's capacity to accurate target enemy positions was impacted due to its resilience on time data from foreign satellites. Coming to the benefits of one nation, one time. First, it will revolutionize time management in India. Second, it helps in improving emergency response coordination. Third, it ensures consistent scheduling of public transportation. Fourth, it will help in legal and regulatory compliance. Next, optimizes industrial operations and boosts global competitiveness. Critical sectors such as navigation, telecommunications, 5G technologies, artificial intelligence, and Internet of Things, power grid synchronization. Also, it ensures cyber security by eliminating dependency on GPS for services such as telecom service providers and internet service providers. From this, the correct answer is option C. Here, statement 1 is correct because it aims to use India's own regional navigation system for the time synchronization. And statement 2 is also correct, that is, it will help improving emergency response coordination. And statement 3 is incorrect because it does not require amending the articles. This question is with reference to UPSC previous year question, that is, Momentum for Change Climate Neutral Now is an initiative launched by the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, second, United Nations Environment Programme Secretariat, third, the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change Secretariat, and fourth, the World Meteorological Organization. Here, the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change Secretariat launched its Climate Neutral Now initiative in 2015. It is an initiative launched to urge individuals, companies, and governments to measure their climate footprint, reduce their greenhouse gas emissions as much as possible. Therefore, the correct answer is option C. Now, coming to the next question. Consider the following statements with reference to Soil Health Card Scheme. And given, it aims to help farmers improve soil health and fertility by providing soil health cards. Second, it is implemented by Department of Agriculture and Corporation. Third, soil samples are collected when there is no standing crop in the field. And asked which of the statements given above is or are correct. Now let us learn about it. Soil Health Card Scheme was launched in 19 February 2015 by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi in Rajasthan, and it is implemented by the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. It aims to help farmers improve soil health and fertility by providing soil health cards. Now coming to the objectives. It improves soil quality and enhances soil health, aiming long-term fertility. Second, increase farmers' profitability. That is, using of optimized fertilizers leads to higher crop yield. Third, employment generation, which provides job opportunities for rural youth in soil testing and analysis. Next, data updating. That is, it ensures real-time soil analysis data availability. And it also enables soil testing services at farmers' doorstep. And here, soil samples are collected twice a year, that is, post-harvest of Kharif and Rabi crops, or when there is no standing crop in the field. From this, the correct answer is option D. Here, statement 1 is correct because it aims to help farmers to improve soil health and fertility by providing soil health cards. And statement 2 is also correct because it is implemented by the Department of Agriculture and Corporation. And statement 3 is also correct because soil samples are collected twice a year, that is post-harvest of Kharif and Rabi crops, or when there is no standing crop in the field. This question is with reference to UPSC previous year question, that is, with reference to Stand Up India scheme, which of the following statements is or are correct? And given, its purpose is to promote entrepreneurship among SC, ST and women entrepreneurs. Second, it provides refines through SIDBI. And asked, select the correct answer using the code given below. Here the statements given above are correct. That is, option C is the correct answer. That is, Stand Up India scheme was launched by the Ministry of Finance on 5th April 2016 to promote entrepreneurship at grassroots level, focusing on economic empowerment and job creation. Now coming to the next question. Consider the following statements and given statement 1 as spinal muscular atrophy is caused by Pantoja tagore bacteria, and statement 2 as it primarily affects muscles which doesn't receive signals from nerve cells. And asked which one of the following is correct in respect of the above statements. Pause and try to attempt the question. Okay, let us learn about it. A 2.5-year-old girl has shown no signs of genetic disorder known as spinal muscular atrophy, becoming the first person in the world to be treated for the disease while in the womb. The girl's mother began taking the gene-targeting drug during the late pregnancy, and the child continues to take it. More than 2 years after the child was born, there was no identifiable features of spinal muscular atrophy have been observed. And this study demonstrates the feasibility of treating spinal muscular atrophy prenatally and supports further investigation into the approach. Now, what is spinal muscular atrophy? That is, it is a group of genetic neuromuscular disorders that cause certain muscles to become weak, and it involves the loss of a specific type of nerve cell in the spinal cord called lower motor neurons or anterior horn cells, which control muscle movement. And without these motor neurons, muscles doesn't receive the nerve signals that make them to move. It is much severe in the muscles that are close to the center of the body than in the muscles farther away from the body's center, and it worsens with the time. Now, what causes spinal muscular atrophy? That is, it is a genetic condition, which means inherit genes from biological parents cause this condition, which is second most severe hereditary disease of infancy and childhood after cystic fibrosis, that is, which damages the lungs and digestive system. Researchers estimate that it affects between 1 in 6,000 to 1 in 11,000 live births. Significantly, it is about twice as common in white and Asian people as it is in black and Hispanic people. Coming to its symptoms, diseased fetal movements, arthrogryposis, diseased muscle tone, severe muscle weakness, severe breathing issues. Additionally, there is no proper medication for the treatment for spinal muscular atrophy, but it seeks to manage symptoms and prevent complications such as physical therapy, occupational therapy, assistive devices like orthopedic braces, walkers, wheelchairs, and therapy for speech, feeding tube if swallowing is too difficult, and assisted ventilation for breathing issues. Now, is it preventable? No. As spinal muscular atrophy is an inherited condition, so it's not typically preventable. However, genetic testing can help you understand your odds of having biological child with spinal muscular atrophy. And career testing for spinal muscular atrophy is available using a genetic test. From this, the correct answer is option D. Here statement 1 is incorrect because it is a genetic condition, which means inherited genes from the biological parents cause this condition, which is second most severe hereditary disease of infancy and childhood after cystic fibrosis. And statement 2 is correct because it primarily affects muscles which doesn't receive signals from nerve cells. This question has been taken with respect to UPSC previous year question, that is, Wolbachia method is sometimes talked about with reference to which one of the following, and given option A, controlling the viral diseases spread by the mosquitoes, option D, converting crop residues into packing material, option C, producing biodegradable plastics, and option D, producing biochar from thermochemical conversion of biomass. Here, Wolbachia is a common type of bacteria found in insects. Approximately 6 in 10 of all insects, including butterflies, bees, beetles around the world have Wolbachia. Significantly, it cannot make people or animals sick. Additionally, it is not found in Aedes aegypti mosquitoes, which can spread viruses. However, scientists discovered that Wolbachia blocks viruses like dengue, chikungunya, and Zika from growing in the bodies of Aedes aegypti mosquitoes. Hence, the correct answer is option A. Now coming to the next question, with reference to Gharials, sometimes mentioned in the news, consider the following statements, and given it is a fish-eating crocodile. Second, it is primarily found in India only. Third, Chambal River is its natural habitat. And asked which of the statements given above is or are correct. Now let us learn about it. The scientific name of gharial is Gharials gangeticus. They are long-snouted fish-eating crocodiles named after Hindi word ghara, that is pot, due to the bulbous snout tip in adult males. Also, it is known for slender snouts with sharp interlocking teeth adapting for catching fish. Here the male grows between 3 to 6 meters while females range from 2.6 to 4.5 meters. Additionally, it plays a vital role in maintaining river ecosystems by cleaning up carrion. And in Indian mythology, they are considered sacred, depicted as divine mount of goddess Ganga. Additionally, it prefers inhabit rivers, preferring sandbanks, sandbars, and islands for basking and nesting. Currently, Madhya Pradesh has the highest gharial population in India, with 2,456 individuals recorded in the 2024 census, and likely extinct in Myanmar and Bhutan, with small uncertain populations in Pakistan, Nepal and Bangladesh. Gharials were once widely distributed in the large rivers that flow in the northern part of the Indian subcontinent, that is Indus, Ganga, Brahmaputra and Mahanadi, Brahmani, Bitarani river systems of India, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Nepal and Pakistan. Today, the major population occur in three tributaries of Ganga river, that is Chambal and the Girwa rivers in India and the Rapti Narayani river in Nepal. Additionally, the gharial reserves in India are located in three states, that is Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan. Now coming to its conservation status, it is critically endangered and Appendix 1 under CITES and protected as Schedule 1 under Wildlife Protection Act 1972. Coming to its threat, dams, pollution, sand mining, overfishing, and it is also hunted for skin, medicine, etc. Now, how can we conserve it? That is by captive breeding and release programs, population monitoring and threat management, community engagement in habitat preservation and awareness campaigns. Also emphasis on river protection, sandbank restoration and environmental management. From this, the correct answer is option C. Your statement 1 is correct because it is a fish-eating crocodile, and statement 2 is incorrect because it primarily found in India and Nepal. And statement 3 is correct because Chambal river is its natural habitat. Now coming to the next question, consider the following about cosmic neutrino, and given it is a primary source of cosmic rays. Second, it interacts strongly with matter, making them easily detectable. Third, it can be produced in the lab. And asked which of the statements given above is or are correct. Now please pause and try to attempt this question. Now let us learn about it. They are chargeless subatomic particle that travels through space at almost the speed of light. Cosmic neutrinos are crucial for understanding some of the most extreme and distant events in the universe, such as black holes, supernovae and other high energy cosmic phenomena. They carry valuable information about the early universe, helping researchers piece together what happened right after the Big Bang. Here, neutrinos rarely interact with matter, where detecting them is extremely challenging. Here, scientists use massive underground detectors like the Ice Cube Neutrino Observatory in Antarctica to capture the rare instances when a neutrino collides with atom, allowing us to study the universe. Scientists have detected neutrino using an observatory under the construction deep beneath the Mediterranean Sea near Sicily. Also, let us learn about Mediterranean Sea. It is the 10th largest sea in the world, located between southern Europe and northern Africa and accounting for about 0.7% of the global ocean area. And it is bordered by the continent of Europe in the north, Asia in the east and Africa in the south. In the west, the sea is connected to the Atlantic Ocean via the narrow Strait of Gibraltar. It is connected to the Red Sea via Suez Canal in the southeast. Some of the significant countries that are located along the Mediterranean Sea are Greece, France, Italy, Spain, Croatia, Algeria, Tunisia, Lebanon, and etc. Additionally, coming to its climate, it has hot and dry summers and mild and rainy winters. Also, it is often referred to the Eurasian Mediterranean Sea. From this, the correct answer is option D. Your statement 1 is incorrect because they are chargeless subatomic particles that travels through space at almost the speed of light. And statement 2 is also incorrect because neutrinos rarely interact with matter, where detecting them is extremely challenging. And statement 3 is correct because it can be produced in the lab. Now coming to the next question, with reference to Naksha scheme, which of the following statements is or are correct? And given its objective is to create accurate geospatial databases for urban land records. Second, it comes under the Ministry of Road and Transportation. Third, only Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, Gujarat and Goa have updated urban land records. And ask, select the correct answer using the code given below. Pause and try to attempt the question. Now let us learn about it. Naksha is a city survey initiative under the existing Digital India Land Records Modernization Program, superheaded by the Department of Land Records under the Ministry of Rural Development. Coming to its objective, to create accurate geospatial databases for urban land records. Second, to streamline property ownership records, enhance land governance and facilitate urban planning. And to improve decision making, efficient land use and ease property transactions. Additionally, there is a need of Naksha scheme. That is, first, urban land records gap. While rural land records have been updated, urban areas lack accurate maps and structured records. Also, outdated and unstructured records lead to inefficiencies in governance and taxation issues. Second, limited state progress. Only few states, for example, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Goa, have updated urban land records. Third, economic and governance benefits. Here, digitized GIS mapping will improve the financial position of urban local bodies through better property record administration and tax management. From this, the correct answer is option A. Here, statement 1 is correct, as its objective is to create accurate geospatial databases for urban land records. And statement 2 is incorrect because it comes under the Ministry of Rural Development. And statement 3 is correct, that is, only Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Goa have updated urban land records, which is a limited state progress. This question has been taken with reference to UPSC previous year question, that is, what are the benefits of implementing Integrated Watershed Development Program? And given prevention of soil runoff. Second, linking the country's perennial rivers with seasonal rivers. Third, rainwater harvesting and recharge of groundwater table. And fourth, regeneration of natural vegetation. And now select the correct answer using the code given below. Here the Integrated Watershed Development Program primarily focuses on conserving and restoring degraded natural resources like water, soil and vegetation cover. This includes preventing soil erosion through measures like planting trees and proper land management, harvesting rainwater to recharge groundwater tables and promoting the growth of natural vegetation. So from this the correct answer is option C. Now coming to the next question, consider the following and given carbon monoxide, methane, sulfur dioxide and black carbon, and asked which of the above are released into the atmosphere due to stubble burning. Now let us learn about it. Stubble burning is the practice of intentionally setting fire to the straw stubble that remains after the grains have been harvested. Here stubble burning emits toxic pollutants in the atmosphere containing harmful gases like carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, oxides of nitrogen, black carbon, methane, carcinogenic polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, volatile organic compounds and particulate matter 2.5 and 10. So from this the correct answer is option D, that is all these four are released into the atmosphere due to stubble burning. This question has been taken with respect to UPSC previous year question, that is, consider the following and given carbon monoxide, methane, ozone and sulfur dioxide, and asked which of the above are released into the atmosphere due to the burning of crop biomass residue. Here biomass is organic material that comes from plant and animals and it is renewable source of energy. And burning crop residues are cheap and easiest method to dispose the leftover crop residues after harvesting and pest control. Significantly, the biomass contains stored energy from the sun. Plants absorb the sun energy in a process called photosynthesis. So, when biomass is burned, the chemical energy in biomass is released as heat. Additionally, crop residue and biomass burning is considered as a major source of carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, methane, volatile organic compounds and nitrogen dioxide, and it also releases suspended particulate matter, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide and ozone in the atmosphere. Therefore, the correct answer is option D. Now coming to the next question, consider the following statements and given Richter scale measures the energy released at the source of the earthquake, whereas Mercalli scale measures the strength of shaking produced by the earthquake at certain location. Second, magnitude is determined from measurements on seismographs, where intensity determined by its effects on people and natural environment. And asked which of the statements given above is or are incorrect. Now let us learn about it. Earthquake is a sudden shaking of earth which results in the movement of lithospheric plates. It originates from a depth below the earth's surface and this depth varies from few meters to hundreds of kilometers. Here the point from where the earthquake originates is known as focus, and the shortest distance from focus to earth's surface is referred to as epicenter. Here epicenter is the closest place on the earth's surface which experienced the earthquake first. Now, how can earthquakes be measured? Here all earthquakes are different in their intensity and magnitude, and the instrument for the measurement of vibrations is known as seismograph. Let us also learn about Richter scale. In this, the earthquake events are scaled according to the magnitudes of the shock. which was developed by the Charles F. Richter in 1935. It is expressed from 0 to 10. Magnitude measures the energy released at the source of the earthquake, and it is determined from measurements on seismograph. And the intensity of an earthquake is measured by the modified Mercalli scale. Here the range of the intensity is from 1 to 12. It measures the strength of the shaking produced by the earthquake at certain location, and it is determined by its effect on people, human structures and natural environment. From this, the correct answer is option D. That means both the given statements are correct. That is, Richter scale measures the energy released at the source of the earthquake, and Mercalli scale measures the strength of shaking produced by the earthquake at certain locations. And here magnitude is determined from the measurements on seismograph, whereas intensity determined by its effects on people and natural environment. This question has been taken with respect to UPSC previous year question, that is, consider the following statements and given. In a seismograph, P waves are recorded earlier than S waves. Second, in P waves, the individual particles vibrate to and fro in the direction of wave propagation, whereas in S waves, the particle vibrate up and down at right angles to the direction of wave propagation. And asked which of the statements given above is or are correct. Basically, there are three types of seismic waves, that is primary waves, secondary waves and surface waves. First, primary waves. It is the fastest wave and reaches first at the surface, which travels in solid, liquid and gas medium of matters. And it is high in solid, becomes less in liquid and very slow in gas state of matter. When there is an increase in the density of rocks, velocity increases and vice versa. It varies from 5.5 km per second at or near the surface to 13.0 km per second in the deep interior. Now second, secondary waves. Its velocity is lesser than primary waves and it is recorded after P waves on the seismograph. It travels only through solid state of matter. Here also when there is an increase in density of rocks, velocity increases and vice versa. Once the state of matter changes from solid to viscous, its velocity will be reduced. But when the rocks are melted, it disappears completely. And it varies from 3.25 km per second at or near the surface of 7.0 km per second in the interior. Now third, surface waves. Its velocity is lesser than P and S waves. And it is recorded after the primary and secondary waves on the seismograph. Unlike primary and secondary waves, it only travels through the solid state of matter and varies from 2.0 to 4.4 km per second. From this, the correct answer is option C. That is, the statement 1 is correct. In a seismograph, P waves are recorded earlier than S waves. And second statement is also correct. That is, in P waves, the individual particles vibrate to and fro in the direction of wave propagation, whereas in S waves, the particles vibrate up and down at the right angles to the direction of wave propagation. Now coming to the next question. Consider the following and given. Welfarism enhances human capabilities and freedoms aligning with the capability approach. Second, freebies enhance human development by addressing immediate needs, encouraging social and economic participation. And asked which of the statements given above is or are correct. Initially, the practice of offering freebies has become intrinsic to Indian politics, starting in Tamil Nadu in 1950, and it has spread nationwide. Welfare schemes were then slowly overtuned to freebies culture by the Dravidian politics to woo the voters. Now, what are freebies? Freebies or revidi is the term used when goods, services are given at free of cost. Here, revidi is a Hindi word that is freebies. In this, parties often promise free education, meals and goods to attract voters. While some schemes are considered welfare, others are seen as populist. The cost of freebies can be up to 2.2% of a state's GDP, potentially impacting development. Now coming to the types of freebies, there are two types. In welfarism, it enhances human capabilities and freedoms aligning with the capability approach to development, which was propounded by the Nobel laureate Amartya Sen. Here the examples of welfarism includes free food through midday meal schemes. Second, in freebies-driven politics, it poses a serious physical threat, particularly to heavily indebted state governments. The growing reliance on freebies will inevitably deepen the revenue deficit for states. From this, the correct answer is option C. As we have learned, welfarism enhances state capabilities and freedoms aligning with the capability approach. And freebies enhances human development by addressing immediate needs, encouraging social and economic participation. This question is with reference to UPSC previous year question, that is, consider the following statements, and given the Election Commission of India is a 5-member body. Second, the Union Ministry of Home Affairs decides the election schedule for the conduct of both general and by-elections. Third, Election Commission resolves the disputes relating to splits, mergers of recognized political parties. And asked which of the statements given above is or are correct. Here in statement 1 says that the Election Commission of India is a 5-member body, which is incorrect. Rather, it has 3 election commissioners, 1 chief election commissioner and 2 election commissioners. Originally, the commission had only a chief election commissioner, but now it currently consists of chief election commissioner and 2 election commissioners. And statement 2 says that the Union Ministry of Home Affairs decides the election schedule for the conduct of both general elections and by-elections, which is also incorrect. Rather, Election Commission decides the election schedule for the conduct of both general elections and by-elections. And here statement 3 is correct, because Election Commission resolves the disputes relating to splits, mergers of recognized political parties. From this, the correct answer is option D. Now coming to the next question, consider the following regarding black hole. And given, these are found when the core of a massive dying star is less than 2.5 times the mass of the sun. Second, even light cannot escape due to gravitational field. Third, Gaia BH3 is second closest black hole to the Earth. And asked, select the correct answer using the codes given below. Recently, astronomers have discovered a gigantic black hole named Gaia BH3 hiding close to the Earth, the third of its kind. All 3 were discovered by the European Space Agency's Gaia telescope, which has been constantly monitoring the motions of billions of stars in our galaxy since 2013. Gaia BH3 is the second closest known black hole to the Earth, 2000 light years away, and is 33 times more massive than our Sun. It is the most massive black hole of stellar origin in the Milky Way, surpassing Cygnus X1. Additionally, black holes are formed after the supernova explosion, when the core of massive dying star is more than 2.5 times the mass of the sun collapses until an infinite density where gravity is so high that light even cannot escape. Here, a black hole is an astronomical object, and because of no light can get out of black holes, they are invisible. It requires special telescope with special tools to find a black hole. These help us to see how stars close to the black hole act differently than other stars. They are huge concentrations of matter packed very tiny spaces. From this, the correct answer is option B. Here statement 1 is incorrect, because these are formed when the core of massive dying star is more than 2.5 times the mass of the sun. And statement 2 is correct, because in black hole even light cannot escape due to gravitational field. And statement 3 is correct, because Gaia BH3 is the second closest black hole to the Earth. This question has been taken with reference to UPSC previous year question, that is, recently scientists observed the merger of giant black holes billions of light years away from the Earth. What is the significance of this observation? And given, Higgs boson particles were detected. Option B, gravitational waves were detected. And option C, possibility of intergalactic space travel through wormhole is confirmed. And option D, it enabled the scientists to understand singularity. Now here, the significance of this observation is that gravitational waves were detected. This observation was made by Laser Interferometer Gravitational Wave Observatory and Virgo collaboration, and it was the first direct detection of gravitational waves caused by the merger of 2 black holes. The detection of gravitational waves confirmed a major prediction of Albert Einstein's 1915 general theory of relativity and opened a new window on the universe. Therefore, the correct answer is option B. Now coming to the next question, which of the following are the objectives of team initiative? And given, to create awareness relating to malnutrition among pregnant women and lactating mothers. Option B, it will empower small enterprises with digital tools to effectively utilize e-commerce marketplace. Option C, providing affordable and quality education to the citizens for free. And option D, to promote the consumption of millets, coarse cereals and unpolished rice. Now you can pause and try to attempt the question. And before I answer this question, let us discuss about this. Team Initiative, Micro, Small, Medium Enterprises Trade Enablement and Market Initiative was launched on 27th June 2024 under Ministry of Small and Micro Enterprises. It aims to facilitate 5 lakh micro and small enterprises for onboarding onto the open network for digital commerce, and through ONDC it provides financial assistance for onboarding, cataloging, account management, logistics, packaging material and design. Additionally, the beneficiaries are 5 lakh micro and small enterprises in 3 years and 50 of which would be women-owned enterprises. The duration is 3 years and National Small Industries Corporation is the implementing agency. Additionally, it will empower micro, small, medium enterprises with digital tools and guidance to effectively utilize the e-commerce marketplace. Now coming to its objectives, expanding market reach for MSMEs. Second, reduction in cost doing business. Third, leveraging digital public infrastructure through ONDC. And fourth, digitalization of MSME, thereby enhancing their competitiveness. And fifth, enabling and making the MSME export ready. Next, localized e-commerce access, convergence with other government initiatives and formalization of MSMEs, enhancing credibility and financial standing, and nationwide outreach and education. So from this, the correct answer is option A. The objective of team initiative is to create awareness relating to malnutrition among pregnant women and lactating mothers. This question has been taken with reference to UPSC previous year question, that is, Biocarbon Fund Initiative for Sustainable Forest Landscape is managed by the, and given, Asian Development Bank. Second, International Monetary Fund. Third, United Nations Environment Program, and option D, World Bank. Here, Biocarbon Fund Initiative for Sustainable Forest Landscape is a multilateral facility supported by donor governments and managed by the World Bank. It seeks to promote reduced greenhouse gas emissions from the land sector, from deforestation and forest degradation in developing countries, and from sustainable agriculture, as well as smarter land use planning policies and practices. Therefore, the correct answer is option D. Now coming to the next question, with reference to olive Ridley turtles, consider the following statements, and given, they are mostly found in tropical and subtropical waters around the world. Second, they are primarily herbivorous. And third, they are listed as Schedule 1 in Wildlife Protection Act 1972. And now select the correct answer using the codes given below. Now, the olive Ridley gets its name from its olive-colored carapace, which is heart-shaped and rounded. It is the smallest and most abundant of all sea turtles found in the world, which inhabits warm waters of Pacific, Atlantic, and Indian Oceans. These turtles are best known for the unique mass nesting called arribada, that is arrival in Spanish, where thousands of females come together on the same beach to lay eggs. Additionally, the coast of Odisha in India is the largest mass nesting site for the olive Ridley, followed by the coast of Mexico and Costa Rica. Coming to its conservation status, it is listed as vulnerable under IUCN and Schedule 1 under Wildlife Protection Act 1972. Significantly, the threats faced by the olive Ridley are bycatch in fishing gear, direct harvest of turtles and eggs, loss and degradation of nesting habitat, predation of eggs and hatching, vessel strikes, ocean pollution, marine debris, and climate change. From this, the correct answer is option A. Here, statement 1 is correct because they are mostly found in tropical and subtropical waters around the world. And statement 2 is incorrect because olive Ridley turtles are not primarily herbivorous. They are omnivorous, meaning they consume both plants and animals. Their diet includes a variety of items like algae, jellyfish, snails, crabs, prawns, and small fish. And statement 3 is correct, that is, they are listed as Schedule 1 in Wildlife Protection Act 1972, as we have learnt. This question has been taken with reference to UPSC previous year question, that is, consider the following statements, and given, some species of turtles are herbivorous. Second, some species of fish are herbivorous. Third, some species of marine mammals are herbivorous. And fourth, some species of snakes are viviparous. And asked which of the statements given above are correct. Here in question, it is correctly identifies that some species of all 4 types of animals, that is turtles, fish, marine animals and snakes, which can be herbivorous or viviparous. Therefore, the correct answer is option D. Now coming to the next question, consider the following, and given statement 1 as DDoS attack are faster where multiple compromised computers flood a target server with overwhelming traffic. Second, DOS attacks are slower where a single host who often targets victim systems. And asked which of the statements given above is or are correct. Recently, Karnataka government officials in February blamed a suspected artificial intelligence based distributed denial of service attack for the recent crash of Kaveri portal. Now, let us learn about Kaveri 2.0 portal. It is a web-based portal launched by Karnataka government in 2023 to reform land registrations. It is the new online property registration system to enable faster and more transparent registration process, and through this portal, citizens are empowered with vital information on stamp duty, property guidelines, and efficient data entry processes. Now, how does DDoS work? DDoS attack means distributed denial of service attack. It is a cyber crime in which the attacker floods a server with internet traffic to prevent users from accessing connected online services and sites. It works by overwhelming the target's resources, making it slow or completely unavailable to legitimate users, which can disrupt services, cause financial losses, and damage target's reputation. And it is of three types, that is volume based attacks, protocol attack, and application layer attacks. Additionally, there are two types of attacks, that is DOS attack and DDoS attack. Now, DOS attack usually targets a victim at application layer. It is accomplished by a single user using a single internet connection. Whereas DDoS attack, on the other hand, takes advantage of using multiple infected devices across different IP addresses to deliver a similar attack, however at a much larger scale. DDoS attacks are harder to deflect than DOS attacks. From this, the correct answer is option C, that is both the statements given are correct. This question has been taken with reference to UPSC previous year question, which says that in India it is legally mandatory for which of the following to report on cyber security incidents, and given service providers, intermediaries, and corporate bodies. And ask select the correct answer using the code given below. Here the Union Government under Section 70B of the IT Act 2000 established and notified rules of cert in 2014. According to the Rule 12, Clause 1 and Subclause A, it is mandatory for service providers, intermediaries, data centers and corporate bodies to report cyber security incidents to cert in within a reasonable time of occurrence of the incident. Therefore, the correct answer is option D. Now coming to the next question, consider the following and given list 1 and list 2 and asked how many of the above pairs is or are correctly matched. Now let us learn about it. Tropex 25, that is Theatre Level Operational Readiness Exercise 2025, is the Indian Navy largest biennial maritime exercise held in the Indian Ocean region. It involves all three military services, that is Army, Air Force, Navy, and the Coast Guard, focusing on joint welfare, combat readiness, and operational integration. Tropex consists of three phases. First, independent workup phase, that is individual force participation. Second, joint workup phase, that is coordination between forces. Third, tactical phase, that is full-scale combat simulations. From this, the correct answer is option B. That is, Tropex is the Indian Navy largest biennial maritime exercise held in Indian Ocean region, and Indra is a joint military exercise between India and Russia. And the Malabar military exercise is a multilateral Navy exercise that began as a bilateral drill between United States and Indian Navy in 1992. This question has been taken with respect to UPSC previous year question, that is, with reference to Agni 4 missile, which of the statements is or are correct? And given it is surface to surface missile. Second, it is fueled by liquid propellant only. Third, it can deliver 1 ton nuclear warhead about 7,500 km away. And ask select the correct answer using the codes given below. Here statement 1 is correct, that is Agni 4 is a nuclear capable long range ballistic missile of India with a strike range of 4,000 kilometers. The indigenously developed Agni 4 is a two-stage surface to surface missile. And here statement 2 is incorrect, that is it is a two-stage solid fuel system. And statement 3 is also incorrect, that is Agni 4 can carry 1 ton nuclear warhead over distance of 4,000 kilometers. Therefore, the correct answer is option E. Now coming to the next question, which of the following is the primary characteristics of direct tax? And given they are levied on goods and services. Option B, they are levied on income and wealth of a person. Option C, they are paid by the consumers. And option D, they are collected by state governments only. Now let us learn about it. A direct tax is a tax that an individual or organization pays directly to the entity that imposed it. It is also known as progressive tax because those who earn less are taxed less, and vice versa, that is, they are levied on income and wealth of a person. Coming to the examples of direct tax, that is income tax, wealth tax, estate tax, corporate tax, and capital gains tax. Now let us learn about indirect taxes. It refers to the type of a tax for which the impact of a tax and incidence of a tax fall on the different persons or entities. For example, excise duty, customs duty, sales tax, service tax, goods and service tax, octroi and entry tax, toll tax and stamp duty. From this, the correct answer is option B. That is, the primary characteristics of direct tax are they are levied on income and wealth of a person. Means those who earn less are taxed less and those who earn more are taxed more. This question has been taken with reference to UPSC previous year question, that is, the sales tax you pay while purchasing a toothpaste is a, and given tax imposed by the central government. Option B, tax imposed by the central government but collected by the state government. Option C, tax imposed by the state government but collected by the central government. And option D, tax imposed and collected by the state government. Here, sales tax, also known as value added tax or VAT, is a consumption tax levied on the sale of goods or services within a state and is administered and collected by the state government, but it is not imposed or collected by the central government. Therefore, the correct answer is option D. Now coming to the next question. With reference to National Commission for Safai Karamcharis, consider the following statements. And given, it is a statutory body. Second, it was established to safeguard the rights and interests of sanitation workers. Third, it investigates and redresses grievances of sanitation workers. And asked, select the correct answer using the codes given below. Now let us discuss about it. National Commission for Safai Karamcharis was constituted on 12th August 1994. It is a statutory body by an Act of Parliament, that is National Commission for Safai Karamcharis Act 1993. Here the Union Cabinet has extended the National Commission for Safai Karamcharis for 3 years, that is until 31st March 2028. Additionally, it is comprised of chairperson, vice chairperson and 5 members including 1 woman. Coming to its functions, to recommend the central government on specific programs of actions towards eliminating of inequalities and study and evaluate implementation of programs and schemes. Third, to investigate specific grievances and to take suo motu notice of matter relating to non-implementation of programs or schemes in respect of in any group of Safai Karamcharis, decisions, guidelines, etc. aimed at mitigating the hardships of Safai Karamcharis and measures for the social and economic upliftment of Safai Karamcharis, etc. Fourth, study and monitor the working conditions. Fifth, make reports to central and state government on any matter concerning Safai Karamcharis and any other matter which may be referred to it by the central government. From this, the correct answer is option D. Here statement 1 is correct, that is it is a statutory body, and statement 2 is also correct, that is it was established to safeguard the rights and interests of sanitation workers. And statement 3 is also correct, as it investigates and redresses grievances of sanitation workers. This question has been taken with reference to UPSC previous year question, that is, consider the following organizations or bodies in India, and given the National Commission for Backward Classes, second, the National Human Rights Commission, third, the National Law Commission, and fourth, the National Consumer Disputes Redressal Commission, and asked how many of the above are constitutional bodies. Here, only the National Commission for Backward Classes is a constitutional body and rest of all are statutory bodies. Therefore, the correct answer is option A. Now coming to the next question. Gulf of Eilat is located between which of the following countries? And given Lebanon and Syria. Option B, Israel, Jordan, Egypt and Saudi Arabia. And option C, Jordan and Saudi Arabia. And option D, Egypt and Israel. Here the Gulf of Eilat, also known as Gulf of Aqaba, is a northeastern extension of the Red Sea, which is bordered by the Israel, Egypt, Jordan and Saudi Arabia, and it is located between Sinai Peninsula and Arabian Peninsula, which is approximately 180 kilometers long and 15 to 25 kilometers wide. From this, the correct answer is option B. That is, Gulf of Eilat is bordered by Israel, Egypt, Jordan and Saudi Arabia. Here you can remember this as JC. That is J for Jordan, E for Egypt, S for Saudi Arabia and I for Israel. And having mnemonics like this will ease your preparation. And this question has been taken with reference to UPSC previous year question, that is, consider the following countries. And given Azerbaijan, second Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan and Uzbekistan. And asked which of the above are borders of Afghanistan. That is, Afghanistan is bordered by Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan to the north, Iran to the west, Pakistan to the east and south. Therefore, the correct answer is option C. Now coming to the next question. Recently, Article 101 Clause 4 is discussed in the context of which one of the following? And given Statement 1 as the privileges of the members of parliament. Statement 2, the seat is declared vacant in view of absence of members of parliament for a period of 60 days. And statement 3 as the procedure for impeachment of the parliament. and asked, select the correct answer using the code given below. Now let us learn about it. Article 101 Clause 4 of the Indian Constitution addresses the issue of MPs who are absent from Parliament for extended periods. The key provisions are, if an MP is absent from all sittings of Parliament for a period of 60 consecutive days without the House permission, their seat may be declared vacant. Second, the 60-day period excludes any time when Parliament is prorogued or adjourned for more than 4 consecutive days. Third, the calculation is based on actual sittings of Parliament, meaning the absence does not include breaks or periods when the House is not in session. Here, MPs can seek permissions for long-term absences by writing to the Committee on Absence of Members from the sittings of the House, which reviews requests and make recommendations to the House. The common grounds for leaves are, MPs frequently request leaves due to illness or personal matters, but imprisonment is also a recognized ground. From this, the correct answer is option A. Here, Article 101 Clause 4 of the Indian Constitution addresses the issue of MPs who are absent from Parliament for extended periods. So, statement 2 is correct. This question has been taken with reference to UPSC previous year question, that is, right to privacy is protected under which article of the Constitution of India? And given Article 15, Article 19, Article 21 and Article 29. Here Article 21 says that no person shall be deprived of his life or personal liberty except according to procedure established by law. The Supreme Court of India in the landmark case of Puttaswamy versus Union of India interpreted this to include the right to privacy as an essential part of personal liberty. Therefore, the correct answer is option C. Now coming to the next question. With reference to one nation, one port, consider the following statements. And given, it refers to standardizing port operations across India. Second, there is no need of any constitutional amendment. It requires only executive action. Third, it forms an alignment with PM Gati Shakti and National Logistic Policy. And asked, select the correct answer using the code given below. Now let us learn about it. One Nation, One Port aims to modernize India's maritime infrastructure, strengthening its global trade presence and to promote sustainability under Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways. Here government visions for aligning with Atmanirbhar Bharat and Viksit Bharat 2047 to position India as a leading global maritime hub. Coming to its objectives, standardization of processes across ports. Second, reduction in logistic cost and inefficiencies. Third, enhancing operational efficiency and transparency. And fourth, boosting India's global maritime trade position. Additionally, the Union Minister emphasized government's commitment to making India a top 10 shipbuilding nation by 2030, creating a world-class, efficient and future-ready maritime ecosystem. Third, strengthening India's position as a global maritime powerhouse. From this, the correct answer is option C. Here, statement 1 is correct because it refers to standardizing port operations across India. And statement 2 is correct. That is, there is no need of any constitutional amendment. It requires only executive action. And statement 3 is also correct because it forms an alignment with PM Gati Shakti and National Logistics Policy. This question has been taken with reference to UPSC previous year question, that is, consider the following pairs and given port and well known as, and asked how many of the above pairs are correctly matched. Here the first pair is correct, that is Kamaraja Port, located on the Coromandel coast about 24 kilometers north of Chennai Port, and it is the 12th major port of India and also the first port in India which is a public company. And here second pair is also correct, that is Mundra Port is the largest private port in India which is located on the north shores of Gulf of Kutch near Mundra, Kutch district in the state of Gujarat. And third pair is incorrect, that is Jawaharlal Nehru Port Trust, Nawaz Sheva, is the largest container port in India and one of the most essential subcontinent harbours on the west coast. Therefore, the correct answer is option B. Now coming to the next question, consider the following statements regarding donkey route. And given, it is primarily associated with legal migration facilitated by international agreements. Second, human traffickers often choose this route targeting vulnerable migrants. And ask which of the statements given above is or are correct. The donkey route or donkey refers to the illegal method of entering a foreign country by making multiple stops in other countries. And India has over 35 million overseas Indians living across the world. Here, people traffickers often take migrants from New Delhi and Mumbai to the United Arab Emirates on tourist visas. Then, they go through as many as dozen transit points in Latin America such as Venezuela, Nicaragua, Guatemala to reach the US-Mexico border. The journey is extremely dangerous, posing a risk to the lives of migrants. The migrants face physical and natural hazards along the route, making the journey even more risky. Now coming to its challenges, lack of opportunities, human trafficking and dangerous routes involved with risking lives to harsh conditions. Here the Darien Gap is an illegal journey to the US, often involves 97-kilometer stretch of dangerous crossing through multiple countries. From this, the correct answer is option B. Here statement 1 is incorrect because the donkey route is the illegal method of entering a foreign country by making multiple stops in other countries. And here statement 2 is correct because the human traffickers often choose this route targeting vulnerable migrants. This question has been taken with reference to UPSC previous year question, that is, the longest border between any two countries in the world is between, and given Canada and the United States of America, second Chile and Argentina, third China and India, and fourth Kazakhstan and Russian Federation. So out of all given statements, Canada and USA has the longest border. Therefore the correct answer is option A. Now coming to the next question, Pradhan Mantri Dhan Dhanya Krishi Yojana is aimed at and given providing loans to poor farmers for cultivating particular crops. Second, to provide subsidized grains who are eligible for below poverty line category. Third, to promote chemical free farming system in rural areas. And fourth, to improve agriculture productivity, crop diversification, post harvest storage in 100 low productivity districts. Basically, the Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman in the Union Budget 2024 has announced the Pradhan Mantri Dhan Dhanya Krishi Yojana to improve agriculture productivity, crop diversification, post-harvest storage, irrigation and credit access in 100 low productivity districts. It is inspired by the Aspirational Districts program in partnership with states under the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. Coming to its objectives, the scheme aims to support 1.7 crore farmers by enhancing agriculture productivity, encouraging crop diversification and sustainable farming, and expanding post-harvest storage at panchayat and block levels. Additionally, it targets small farmers who has less than 2 hectares. From this, the correct answer is option A. Pradhan Mantri Dhan Dhanya Krishi Yojana is aimed to improve agriculture productivity, crop diversification, post-harvest storage in 100 low productivity districts. This question has been taken with reference to UPSC previous year question, that is, what is the purpose of Vidyanjali Yojana, and given to enable the famous foreign education institutions to open their campuses in India. Second, to increase the quality of education provided in government schools by taking help from the private sector and the community. Third, to encourage voluntary monetary contributions from private individuals and organizations so as to improve the infrastructure facilities for primary and secondary schools. And asked, select the correct answer using the code given below. Here, the Ministry of Human Resource Development has launched the Vidyanjali scheme aimed at boosting the education system by delivering volunteer teachers to government schools. The volunteer service will be used in developing skills like public speaking, creative writing, counseling, music and dance. Therefore, the correct answer is option A. That is, the purpose of Vidyanjali Yojana is to increase the quality of education provided in government schools by taking help from the private sector and community. Now coming to the next question, why is black plastic a matter of concern for the environment? And given, it is often manufactured using recycled materials that can contain hazardous substances like heavy metals. Second, the black pigment used in the plastics facilitates easier recycling compared to other plastics. Third, it contributes to long-term plastic pollution as it is non-biodegradable. Fourth, recycling systems can efficiently sort black plastic due to its unique infrared properties. And asked which of the statements given above is or are correct. Now let us learn about it. Black plastic is often made from recycled electronic waste such as computers, TV and appliances. The issue is that these electronics typically contain substances like the flame retardant bromine, antimony and heavy metals such as lead, cadmium and mercury. These electronics comprise flame retardants in a bid to prevent fire hazards. Additionally, black plastic is applied to a variety of products due to its low price and a pleasing appearance, such as black containers for packaging food such as trays, containers to preserve food. Second, black plastics. Third, electronics such as phones, televisions and other gadgets are often made with black plastic. And fourth, construction like sheeting and films. And fifth, toys and household products such as household items like storage bins, toys are made from black plastic. Now coming to the harmful effects of black plastic, it contains neurotoxic heavy metals and carcinogenic compounds. Second, heat exposure may cause chemical leaching into food. Third, difficult to recycle, leading to increased plastic pollution. From this, the correct answer is option A. Here statement 1 is correct because black plastic is manufactured using recycled materials that can contain hazardous substances like heavy metals. And statement 2 is incorrect because black plastic is difficult to recycle, leading to increased plastic pollution. And statement 3 is correct because it contains long-term plastic pollution as it is non-biodegradable. And statement 4 is incorrect. This question has been taken with reference to UPSC previous year question, that is, why is there a great concern about microbeads that are released into the environment? And given, they are considered harmful to marine ecosystems. Option B, they are considered to cause skin cancer in children. Option C, they are small enough to be absorbed by crop plants in irrigated fields. And option D, they are often found to be used as food adulterants. So here, there is great concern about microbeads that are released into the environment because they are considered harmful to marine ecosystems. Microbeads are tiny plastic beads that are commonly used in personal care products like facial scrubs, body washes, and toothpaste as exfoliants. These microbeads are too small to be filtered out by the wastewater treatment plants, and they end up in the waterways where they can be ingested by marine organisms. This can cause harm to the marine life, disrupt ecosystems, and ultimately pose a threat to human health as well. Therefore, the correct answer is option A. Now coming to the next question, consider the following and given International Court of Justice hears disputes between states. Second, International Criminal Court handles prosecutions of individuals. And asked which of the statements given above is or are correct. Now let us learn about it. International Criminal Court is established in 2002 and is a court of last resort for the prosecution of serious international crimes including genocide, war crimes and crimes against humanity. There are 125 member countries, but China, India, Israel, Russia and United States are not International Criminal Court parties. Here the court is funded by the contributions from the state parties and by voluntary contributions from governments, international organizations, individuals, corporations and other entities. Additionally, it has 18 judges, each from a different member country, and handles prosecutions of individuals. Further, International Criminal Court may only exercise its jurisdiction if the national court is unable or unwilling to do so. Also, International Court of Justice, also known as World Court, is the principal judicial organ of the United Nations. Its primary function is to settle disputes between nations and provide advisory opinions on legal issues requested by United Nations bodies and specialized agencies. From this, the correct answer is option C. Here statement 1 is correct, that is International Court of Justice hear disputes between states. And statement 2 is also correct, that is International Criminal Court handles prosecutions of individuals. Also, let us discuss this UPSC previous year question, that is with reference to Indian judiciary, consider the following statements. And given, any retired judge of Supreme Court of India can be called back to sit and act as a Supreme Court judge by Chief Justice of India with prior permission of the President of India. Second, a High Court in India has the power to review its own judgment as a Supreme Court does. And asked which of the statements given above is or are correct. Here statement 1 is correct. That is, the Chief Justice of India may at any time with the previous consent of President can request a retired judge of the Supreme Court or a retired judge of High Court to act as a judge of the Supreme Court for a temporary period. And statement 2 is incorrect. That is, Article 137 of the Indian Constitution deals with the review of judgments or orders by the Supreme Court. So therefore, the correct answer is option A. Now coming to the next question, with reference to Tea Horse Road, consider the following statements. And given, it facilitated the trade of salt, tea and medicinal herbs between China, Tibet and Southeast Asia. Second, it was a part of larger Silk Road network connecting Asia to Europe. And asked which of the statements given above is or are correct. Pause and try to attempt this question. Now let us learn about it. The ancient Tea Horse Road is a historical network of trade routes that connected the tea growing regions of southwest China with the Tibetan Plateau. It is a testament to human ingenuity, endurance, rich tapestry of cultural exchange and economic interaction. Here, the ancient tea horse road dates back to the Tang dynasty, a period marked by significant political and economic expansion in China. As tea became an essential commodity, its demand grew not only within China but also in neighboring regions. Here, Tibetans with limited agricultural resources found tea as a valuable addition to their diet. In exchange for tea, the Chinese sought Tibetan horses, which are crucial for the Chinese military. This mutually beneficial trade laid the foundation for the establishment of the tea horse route. Additionally, Yang Fu, a scholar, highlighted the strategic importance which facilitated cultural exchanges between Chinese and Tibetan peoples. Coming to its geographical challenges, the natural barriers such as highest terrains required innovative solutions and remarkable resilience from the traders. Travelers faced numerous hardships including altitude sickness, extreme weather, and the constant threat of landslides and avalanches. This route were also fought with dangers from wild animals and bandits. Despite these challenges, the traders developed sophisticated techniques to ensure their survival and the safe transport of their goods. Now coming to its cultural exchanges, the trade route facilitated the spread of ideas, religions, language and customs, creating a melting pot of culture in the regions they connected. Tea Horse Road was the introduction of Buddhism to Tibet. From this, the correct answer is option A. Here statement 1 is correct as it facilitated the trade of salt, tea and medicinal herbs between China, Tibet and Southeast Asia. And statement 2 is incorrect because it was not a part of the larger Silk Road network. This question has been taken with reference to UPSC previous year question, which says that Belt and Road Initiative is sometimes mentioned in the news in the context of the affairs of, and given African Union, option B Brazil, option C European Union and option D China. Basically, the Belt and Road Initiative represents a multifaceted development strategy aimed at enhancing global connectivity and cooperation and is most commonly associated with China. It was launched in 2013 and aims to link Southeast Asia, Central Asia, the Gulf regions, Africa and Europe with a network of land and sea routes. Therefore, the correct answer is option D. Now coming to the next question, with reference to the Climate Risk Index, consider the following statements. And given, it is published annually by German Watch Environment think tank. Second, it evaluates the long-term impacts of climate change on biodiversity and ecosystems. Third, India ranked among the top 10 most affected countries in the Climate Risk Index 2025 report. And asked, select the correct answer using the code given below. Now let us learn about it. The Climate Risk Index ranks countries by the human and economic toll of extreme weather, which assesses the human and economic losses due to climate-induced disasters. And it is published by the German Watch and Environment think tank since 2006. Additionally, it is one of the longest running annual climate impact related indices, which aims to analyze climate related extreme weather events' degree of effect on countries. In doing so, it measures the consequences of realized risk on countries and to guide climate policies and risk mitigation efforts. Coming to its key findings, first, countries most affected in 1993 to 2022, Dominica, China, Honduras were the countries most affected by the extreme weather events. Second, Myanmar, Italy, India were among the other highly impacted countries. Third, countries most affected in 2022, that is the most affected countries were Pakistan, Belize and Italy, followed by United States, Spain and Greece. Fourth, the report findings are sobering for India. That is 1 in 10 climate casualties between 1993 and 2022 was from the country, and it was the 6th worst affected country in this period. Therefore, the correct answer is option C. Here statement 1 is correct, that is, as we have learned, it is published annually by German Watch Environment think tank. And statement 2 is incorrect because the Climate Risk Index ranks countries by the human and economic toll of extreme weather, which assesses the human and economic losses due to climate-induced disasters, not impacts of climate change on biodiversity and ecosystems. And statement 3 is correct, that is, India ranked among the top 10 most affected countries in the Climate Risk Index 2025 report. This question has been taken with reference to UPSC previous year question, which says that with reference to Global Climate Change Alliance, which of the following statements is or are correct? and given it is an initiative of European Union. Second, it provides technical and financial support to targeted developing countries to integrate climate change into their development policies and budgets. Third, it is coordinated by the World Resources Institute and World Business Council for Sustainable Development. And now select the correct answer using the code given below. Here, the Global Climate Change Alliance was established by the European Union in 2007 to strengthen dialogue and cooperation with developing countries, in particular least developed countries and small island developing states. Hence, statement 1 is correct. And Global Climate Change Alliance also provides technical and financial support to partner countries to integrate climate change into their development policies and budgets, and to implement projects that address climate change on the ground, promoting climate resilient, low emission development. Hence, statement 2 is also correct. And there is no mention of the World Resources Institute and World Business Council for Sustainable Development at the official partners page of Global Climate Change Alliance, even though a lot of other institutes are also mentioned, like UNDP, United Nations Development Program, etc. Hence, statement 3 is incorrect. Now coming to the next question. Consider the following statements and given Jhumar Binandini is a traditional folk dance by the Adivasi tea tribes of Assam during the harvest season. Second, Jhumar dance is characterized by the rhythmic footwork, hand gestures and facial expressions. And ask which of the statements given above is or are correct. Now let us learn about it. Jhumar Binandini, also known as Jhumar, is a traditional folk dance performed by the Adivasi tea tribes of Assam during the harvest season. The dance is characterized by the rhythmic footwork, hand gestures and facial expressions that narrate a story or convey spiritual devotion. Abhinaya, that is expression, plays a key role in Jhumar Binandini. The dance's facial expressions such as joy, devotion, longing or serenity are synchronized with the movements to convey deep emotional content, making the performance a powerful spiritual experience. Here the dancers wear traditional Assamese attire. The Mekela Chador for women is a traditional two-piece garment that drapes elegantly around the body, paired with intricate jewelry and accessories like tora, that is handpiece, and bichwa, that is anklet. Men wear dhoti or kurta along with traditional accessories. Additionally, the live instruments played during the performance often include dole, tabla and flute, etc. Now coming to its cultural significance, Vaishnavism and spirituality. In this, the dance is often performed as a part of Satriya traditions, which are rooted in the teachings of the great Vaishnavite saint Srimanta Sankara Deva. And this form of dance is deeply spiritual and expresses devotion to Lord Vishnu and Lord Krishna. The dance represents an offering to God and is meant to evoke feelings like piety, peace and devotion in the audience. Second, community and ritualistic roots. The dance is performed during religious festivals like Bihu, Rath Yatra, and is also part of Bhakti movement. The community participation is an essential aspect, bringing people together to celebrate their shared cultural heritage. From this, the correct answer is option C. Here statement 1 is correct, that is Jhumar Binandini is a traditional folk dance by Adivasi tea tribes of Assam during the harvest season. And statement 2 is also correct, that is Jhumar dance is characterized by rhythmic footwork, hand gestures and facial expressions. This question has been taken with reference to UPSC previous year question, which says that consider the following states and asked which of the pairs given above is or are correctly matched. Here, Garba is a folk dance celebrated in the state of Gujarat. It is 9 days of festival to dedicate themselves to goddess Shakti. Moreover, Garba is a dance that celebrates females, fertility and mother deities. It has been inscribed in the list of intangible cultural heritage of humanity by UNESCO in 2023. So, first pair is correct. And here, Mohiniyattam is an Indian classical dance of Kerala. It is one of the 8 major Indian classical dance forms. So, second pair is incorrect. And Yakshagna is a traditional folk dance form popular in coastal Karnataka districts, which depicts mythological stories from Ramayana, Mahabharata, Bhagavata and other Hindu epics. So third pair is correct. Hence the correct answer is option C. Now coming to the next question. Consider the following and given the Government of India has set an ambitious target of 100 gigawatts nuclear power capacity by 2047. Second, it aims to develop at least 5 indigenously designed and operational small modular reactors by 2033. Third, the Kundankulam nuclear power plant is India's largest operational nuclear power facility. And now select the correct answer using the code given below. Please pause and try to attempt this question. Now let us learn about it. Nuclear Energy Mission aims to enhance domestic nuclear capabilities, to promote private sector participation and to accelerate the deployment of advanced nuclear technologies such as small modular reactors. It is targeted at 100 gigawatts nuclear power capacity by 2047, positioning nuclear energy as a major pillar in India's energy mix with a total outlay of 20,000 crore. Additionally, the government has initiated steps to increase nuclear power capacity from the current 8,180 megawatts to 22,480 megawatts by 2031 to 32. This expansion includes the construction and commissioning of 10 reactors totaling 8,000 megawatts across Gujarat, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, Haryana, Karnataka and Madhya Pradesh. Recently, Rajasthan's atomic power project is one of the country's largest and third indigenous nuclear reactors, reached critically, marking the beginning of controlled fission chain reaction. From this, the correct answer is option D. Here, statement 1 is correct, as the Government of India has set an ambitious target of 100 gigawatt nuclear power capacity by 2047. And statement 2 is also correct, as it aims to develop at least 5 indigenously designed and operational small modular reactors by 2033. And also statement 3 is also correct, because the Kundankulam nuclear power plant is the India's largest operational nuclear power facility. This question has been taken with reference to UPSC previous year question, which says that in India, why are some nuclear reactors kept under IAEA safeguards while others are not? And given some use uranium but others use thorium. Option B, some use imported uranium and other use domestic supplies. Option C, some are operated by foreign enterprises and other are operated by domestic enterprises. And option D, some are state owned and others are privately owned. Here, IAEA means International Atomic Energy Agency is an international organization dedicated to promoting the peaceful use of nuclear energy and prohibiting its use for military purposes, including the development of nuclear weapons. It was established in 1957 and its headquarters are located in Vienna, that is in Austria. Additionally, it is a set of technical safeguards applied by International Atomic Energy Agency to independently verify any nuclear facilities to check if it is not misused or deactivated from peaceful uses. Under Article 3 of the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons Treaty, all the non-nuclear weapon states are required to conclude a safeguard agreement with International Atomic Energy Agency. Therefore, the correct answer is option B. Now coming to the next question. With reference to Ocean Coordination Mechanism, consider the following statements. And given to establish a collaborative governance framework for the sustainable management of marine resources. Second, aims to coordinate and streamline actions addressing critical marine issues. Third, it is announced by the International Oceanographic Commission of the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization. And now select the correct statements using the code given below. Now let us learn about it. Ocean Coordination Mechanism aims to coordinate and streamline actions addressing critical marine issues such as sustainable fisheries, ecosystem restoration, pollution control, blue carbon development, marine spatial planning, and the establishment of marine protected areas. Mainly, its purpose is to establish a collaborative governance framework for the sustainable management of marine resources. Additionally, it is announced by the International Oceanographic Commission of the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, that is UNESCO, and the focus is on the Caribbean and the North Brazil Shelf. The North Brazil Shelf classified as a large marine ecosystem and is home to over 500 fish species and acts as a natural barrier against storms. These areas are rich in biodiversity, that is, their coral reefs and fisheries support local economies, contributing about $610 million each year. And it also promotes blue carbon projects which use coastal ecosystems for carbon storage, benefiting both environment and local communities. Also, let us learn about Caribbean Sea. It is connected with the Gulf of Mexico in the north, bordered by Colombia, Panama and Venezuela in the south, Yucatan Peninsula in the west. The sea is also home to numerous coral reefs, including Mesoamerican Barrier Reef. Significantly, it is mostly dominated by tropical vegetation and comprises more than 13,000 plant species, of which 6,500 plant species are endemic to this region. From this, the correct answer is option D. Here, statement 1 is correct, that is, its purpose is to establish a collaborative governance framework for the sustainable management of marine resources. And statement 2 is also correct, as it aims to coordinate and streamline actions addressing critical marine issues. And statement 3 is also correct. That is, it is announced by the International Oceanographic Commission of the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization. This question has been taken with respect to UPSC previous year question, that is, with reference to ocean mean temperature, which of the following statements is or are correct? And given, ocean mean temperature is measured up to a depth of 26 degrees Celsius isotherm, which is 129 meters in the southwestern Indian Ocean during January to March. Second, ocean mean temperature collected during January to March can be used in assessing whether the amount of rainfall in monsoon will be less or more than the certain long-term mean. And now select the correct answer using the code given below. Basically, the ocean mean temperature refers to the average temperature of the ocean's surface water, generally measured up to a depth of around 50 to 100 meters. Here statement 1 is incorrect because the depth of a 26 degrees Celsius isotherm can vary significantly regionally and week on week, and it is not consistently 129 meters deep in the specified region. And statement 2 is correct because ocean temperature do indeed play a significant role in climate and weather patterns and can influence monsoon systems. Therefore, measurements of ocean mean temperature could be used to assess if monsoon rainfall will be less or more than a long-term mean. Therefore, the correct answer is option B. Now coming to the next question, consider the following countries and given Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, United Arab Emirates, Iraq and Oman, and asked how many of the above mentioned countries share a maritime border with Qatar. Now let us discuss briefly. India and Qatar have committed to doubling trade to USD 28 billion and increasing Qatari investment in India. Here 5 memorandum of understandings were signed, including a revised double taxation avoidance agreement, economic collaboration, archives and documentation cooperation, as well as youth affairs and sports. Additionally, Qatar has a land border only with Saudi Arabia to the south, and Persian Gulf surrounds Qatar on all the other sides, and the Gulf of Bahrain separates it from Bahrain. It also shares maritime borders with United Arab Emirates and Iran. So from this, the correct answer is option B. That is, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, United Arab Emirates share a maritime border with Qatar. This question has been taken with reference to UPSC previous year question, which says that consider the following countries and given Finland, Germany, Norway and Russia, and asked how many of the above countries have a border with North Sea. So here North Sea is a sea surrounded by Norway, Scotland, England, France, Belgium, Netherlands, Germany and Denmark. That is, Germany and Norway have a border with North Sea. To the next question, with reference to Bharatiya Bhasha Pustak scheme, consider the following statements and given. It aims to provide digital form in 18 officially recognized Indian language books for lower school education only. Second, it aligns with the National Education Policy 2020. Third, it was launched in promotion of linguistic inclusivity. And now select the correct statements using the code given below. Now let us learn about it. Bharatiya Bhasha Pustak scheme was launched under Union Budget 2025-26, which aims to provide digital form in 22 officially recognized Indian language books for school and higher education, and to preserve 197 endangered languages and bridge educational disparities. Additionally, it aligns with the National Education Policy 2020 and also complements existing efforts like augmenting study materials in Indian languages through translation and academic writing initiative. Additionally, it boosts the regional publishing economy by creating jobs for authors, translators and publishers. Coming to its challenges, standardizing technical terminology across dialects, limited demand for regional language books in an English-dominated market. Third, skill shortages in translation and digitization risk like piracy and infrastructure cost. From this, the correct answer is option B. Here statement 1 is incorrect. That is, Bharatiya Bhasha Pustak scheme aims to provide digital form of 22 officially recognized Indian language books for school and higher education. And statement 2 is correct. That is, it aligns with the National Education Policy 2020. And statement 3 is also correct because it was launched in promotion of linguistic inclusivity. And this question was taken with reference to UPSC previous year question, which says that consider the following pairs and given program and ministry, and asked which of the pairs is or are correctly matched. The drone prone area program comes under the Ministry of Rural Development and aims to mitigate the impacts of droughts on crop production, livestock, land and water resources. And the Desert Development Program comes under the Ministry of Rural Development, whose objective is to minimize the adverse effect of drought and control desertification through regeneration of the natural resources base of the identified desert area. And the National Watershed Project for Rainfed Areas, implemented by the Ministry of Agriculture, is an umbrella scheme under the Pradhana Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana, which aims to enhance water availability in the watershed areas. From this, the correct answer is option D. That is, none of the pairs are correctly matched. Now coming to the next question. Consider the following statements regarding Guillain-Barré syndrome, and given it is a rare autoimmune disorder where the body's immune system attacks the peripheral nervous system. Second, it is commonly triggered by the bacterial infections such as Campylobacter jejuni. Third, intravenous immunoglobulin is a widely used treatment for this disease. And asked, select the correct statements using the code given below. Now let us learn about it. Guillain-Barré syndrome is a rare autoimmune neurological disorder where the immune system attacks peripheral nerves, leading to muscle weakness and potential paralysis. It affects 1 to 2 per 1 lakh population, more common in adults and males. Here, immune system attacks the myelin sheath, a fatty layer around the nerve cells, impairing nerve signaling. It affects the peripheral nervous system responsible for muscle movement, temperature, touch and pain sensations. Additionally, it is triggered by viral or bacterial infections causing gastroenteritis with nausea, vomiting and diarrhea, flu, etc. Now coming to its treatment. First, plasma exchange, which removes and treats plasma to eliminate harmful antibodies attacking nerves. Second, intravenous immunoglobulin, which introduces proteins to neutralize harmful antibodies and reduce immune attacks. Now coming to its symptoms. Weakness sensation in the legs, loss of deep tendon reflexes, difficulty in speaking and swallowing, difficulty in breathing, high blood pressure and fatigue. So from this, the correct answer is option D. Here statement 1 is correct, that is, it is a rare autoimmune disorder where the body's immune system attacks the peripheral nervous system. And statement 2 is also correct, that is, it is commonly triggered by bacterial infections such as Campylobacter jejuni. And statement 3 is also correct, that is, intravenous immunoglobulin is a widely used treatment for this disease. This question has been taken with reference to UPSC previous year question, that is, in the context of hereditary diseases, consider the following statements, and given passing on mitochondrial diseases from parent to child can be prevented by mitochondrial replacement therapy either before or after in the vitro fertilization of the egg. Second, a child inherits mitochondrial diseases entirely from mother and not from father. And asked which of the statements given above is or are correct. Here statement 1 is correct, that is, mitochondrial replacement therapy is a form of reproductive in vitro fertilization which works on the principle of replacing a woman's mitochondrial DNA with the donor's healthy one. Here, mitochondrial replacement therapy include different techniques like spindle transfer, pronuclear transfer or polar body transfer. So, passing on mitochondrial diseases from parent to child can be prevented by mitochondrial replacement therapy either before or after in vitro fertilization of the egg. And statement 2 is also correct because mitochondria are the organelle which contains DNA in circular form, and in animals it is the only organelle in addition to nucleus which contain DNA and gene. The sperm contains very low number of mitochondria and mitochondrial gene. So, in the offspring, the mitochondrial genes are inherited from the mother. Thus, a father with mitochondrial gene defect cannot transmit the disease to his offspring. Therefore, both the statements are correct. With reference to Dokra artwork, consider the following statements, and given it is also known as bell metal craft and dates back over 4000 years. Second, it is a traditional metal casting technique that uses the lost wax method. Third, these artifacts are made using ferrous metals like iron and steel. And asked, select the correct answer using the code given below. Dokra art dating back over 4000 years is a folk art practiced by the Dokra Damar tribes, traditional metal smiths found in eastern India. It is a form of ancient bell metal craft practiced by Oja metal smiths living in states like Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, West Bengal and Telangana. The structures are usually made of brass, nickel and zinc alloys. Dokra uses the traditional Indian technique of bronze casting using lost wax method, that is casting in molds. The technique is based on annealing, where the metal extract is heated to reach extremely high temperatures to melt. Then it is filled in the pre-casted molds, where the metal is allowed to cool and take the shape of the mold. The famous statue of the dancing girl of Mohenjo-daro is one of the earliest known lost wax castings artifacts. Now the distinctive features of Dokra art are handcrafted uniqueness, in which each piece is individually crafted, ensuring no two pieces are ever the same, making every creation a unique masterpiece. Second, earthly antique aesthetic. Here the rustic finish and the natural imperfections contribute to its timeless vintage appeal. Third, tribal essence. These designs and motifs are inspired by the daily life and folklore of tribal communities, reflecting their rich culture heritage. From this, the correct answer is option A. Here statement 1 is correct, as it is also known as bell metal craft and dates back over 4000 years. And statement 2 is also correct because it is a traditional metal casting technique that uses the lost wax method. And statement 3 is incorrect, that is, these artifacts are made using brass, nickel and zinc alloys. This question has been taken with reference to UPSC previous year question, that is, kalamkari painting refers to, and given, a hand painted cotton textile in South India. Option B, a handmade drawing on bamboo handicrafts in Northeast India. Option C, a block painted woolen cloth in Western Himalayan region of India. And option D, a hand painted decorative silk cloth in Northwestern India. Basically, kalamkari painting is a painting done by kalam, that is pen, in Andhra Pradesh. It is done on cotton garments, bed covers, etc. And it is usually done on cotton garments. Therefore, the correct answer is option A. That is, kalamkari painting refers to a hand-painted cotton textile in South India. Now coming to the next question. With reference to Animal Welfare Board of India, consider the following statements. And given, it is a statutory body advising central and state governments on animal. Second, it promotes animal welfare and ensures the prevention of cruelty to animals. Third, it is headquartered in Uttar Pradesh. And asked, select the correct statements using the code given below. Please pause and try to attempt the question. Now let us learn about it. Animal Welfare Board of India is set up in 1962 under Section 4 of Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Act 1960. It is a statutory body advising central and state governments on animal welfare and cruelty prevention, which promotes animal welfare and ensures the prevention of cruelty to animals. Its headquarters lies in Haryana. Now coming to its composition, it is chaired by nominee of central government, including representatives from animal welfare organizations, veterinary experts and government officials. Here the Animal Welfare Board of India advises the central government on animal welfare laws, facilitates the creation of shelters, rescue homes and animal welfare organization, and regulates the use of animals in films and entertainment. Significantly, it plays a major role in enforcing the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Act 1960 and promoting ethical treatment of animal in India. From this, the correct answer is option A. Here statement 1 is correct, that is, it is a statutory body advising central and state governments on animal. And statement 2 is also correct, as it promotes animal welfare and ensures the prevention of cruelty to animals. And statement 3 is incorrect because its headquarters lies in Haryana, not in Uttar Pradesh. This question has been taken with reference to UPSC previous year question, that is, consider the following statements. And given, Animal Welfare Board of India is established under Environment Protection Act 1986. Second, National Tiger Conservation Authority is a statutory body. Third, National Ganga River Basin Authority is chaired by the Prime Minister. And asked which of the statements given above is or are correct. Here, Animal Welfare Board of India is a statutory body established under the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Act 1960 in 1962, not 1986. Hence, statement 1 is incorrect. And National Tiger Conservation Authority is a statutory body under the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change established in 2005. Hence, statement 2 is correct. And next, National Ganga River Basin Authority was replaced by the National Ganga Council under River Ganga Rejuvenation, Protection and Management Authorities Order 2016. The National Ganga Council is chaired by the Prime Minister and the Union Minister for Jal Shakti is its vice chairperson and is responsible for the implementation of the National Mission for Clean Ganga. Hence, statement 3 is correct. Now coming to the next question, consider the following statements. And given, Election Commission of India is a constitutional body for administering union and state election processes. Second, presently, Gyanesh Kumar is serving as 26th Chief Election Commission. And asked, which of the statements given above is or are correct? Now let us learn about it. Part 15 of Article 324 to 329 of the Indian Constitution deals with elections and establishes a commission for these matters. It is an autonomous constitutional authority responsible for administering union and state election processes in India. Here the body administers elections to Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, state legislative assemblies in India and the offices of the president and vice president in the country. Originally, the commission had only one chief election commissioner, but now currently it consists of chief election commissioner and 2 election commissioners, and they are appointed by the president of India and have a tenure of 6 years or up to the age of 65, whichever is earlier. Additionally, they enjoy the same status and receive salary and perks as available to judges of the Supreme Court of India. Significantly, the chief election commissioner can be removed from office in like manner and on like grounds as a judge of the Supreme Court. Coming to its functions, it ensures free and fair elections. It prepares the electoral rolls and provides recognition to political parties, and also allots symbols to different political parties and issues guidelines and code of conduct for the election officials. From this, the correct answer is option C. Here statement 1 is correct. That is, Election Commission of India is a constitutional body for administering union and state election processes. And statement 2 is also correct. That is, presently, Gyanesh Kumar is serving as a 26th Chief Election Commission. This question has been taken with reference to UPSC previous year question. That is, consider the following statements and given the Election Commission of India is a 5-member body. Second, the Union Minister of Home Affairs decides the election schedule for the conduct of both general elections and by-elections. Third, Election Commission resolves the dispute relating to splits or mergers of recognized political parties. And asked which of the statements given above is or are correct. Here, the statement 1 says that the Election Commission of India is a 5-member body, which is incorrect. Rather, Election Commission has 3 election commissioners, 1 Chief Election Commissioner and 2 election commissioners. Originally, the commission had only 1 Chief Election Commissioner, but now currently it consists of Chief Election Commissioner and 2 election commissioners. And statement 2 says that the Union Ministry of Home Affairs decides the election schedule for the conduct of both general elections and by-elections, which is also incorrect. Rather, Election Commission decides the election schedule for the conduct of both general and by-elections. And statement 3 is correct because the Election Commission resolves the disputes relating to splits or mergers of recognized political parties. From this, the correct answer is option D. Now coming to the next question, Swavallambini is an initiative of Government of India aims at and given to promote the self-help groups in rural areas. Option B, to promote the education and health of adolescent girls. Option C, to provide affordable and quality education to the citizens for free of cost. And option D, to encourage young women entrepreneurs through structured skill training. Now please pause and try to attempt this question. Okay, let us learn about it. Swavallambini is a women entrepreneurship program launched by the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship in partnership with Niti Aayog. Its objective is to encourage young women entrepreneurs through structured skill training. It also provides mentorship, financial assistance and incubation support. Additionally, it enhances women participation in India's economic development. Here, the National Institute for Entrepreneurship and Small Business Development is the nodal agency, and it is structured multi-stage training program, that is, Entrepreneurship Awareness Program, Women Entrepreneurship Development Program and Faculty Development Program. From this, the correct answer is option D. That is, Swavallambini is an initiative of Government of India and aims to encourage young women entrepreneurs through structured skill training. This question has been taken with reference to UPSC previous year question, that is, which of the following are the objectives of National Nutrition Mission? And given to create awareness relating to malnutrition among pregnant women and lactating mothers. Second, to reduce the incidence of anemia among young children, adolescent girls and women. Third, to promote the consumption of millets, coarse cereals and unpolished rice. And fourth, to promote the consumption of poultry eggs. And asked, select the correct answer using the code given below. Poshan Abhiyan, erstwhile National Nutrition Mission, was launched in March 2018 to achieve improvement in nutritional status of children from 0 to 6 years, adolescent girls, pregnant women and lactating mothers in a time-bound manner, and to achieve reduction in stunning and wasting in children as well as reduction in anemia in women, children and adolescent girls. So hence the correct answer is option A. And statement 3 and 4 are incorrect because Poshan Abhiyan is not related to promoting of millets or poultry eggs. Now coming to the next question. Consider the following and given OPEC maintains stable and profitable oil prices for members with Saudi Arabia as its largest producer. Second, OPEC Plus expands influence on global oil markets through cooperation with non-OPEC producers with Saudi Arabia and Russia. And ask which of the statements given above is or are correct. Now let us learn about it. OPEC was founded in 1960 in Baghdad by founding members such as Iraq, Iran, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia and Venezuela. Its headquarters lies in Vienna, that is in Austria. Its 12 member countries are Algeria, Congo, Gabon, Equatorial Guinea, Iraq, Iran, Kuwait, Libya, Nigeria, Saudi Arabia, UAE and Venezuela. And Gabon rejoined the group in 2016. It aims to coordinate petroleum policies and secure fair and stable prices. It also aims to coordinate and unify petroleum policies among member countries. Additionally, it operates on the principle of unanimity and one member, one vote. Further, it meets regularly to set oil production targets and coordinate output to help manage global oil prices for the entire group. And significantly, it publishes World Oil Outlook. Now, let us also learn about OPEC Plus. Basically, OPEC signed an agreement with 10 other oil producing countries to create what is now known as OPEC Plus, which is also known as Vienna Group. Presently, it consists of 23 member countries. This includes 12 members of OPEC and 11 non-OPEC countries that are major oil producers. The non-OPEC countries are Azerbaijan, Bahrain, Brunei, Kazakhstan, Malaysia, Mexico, Oman, Russia, South Sudan, Sudan and Brazil. Additionally, it meets regularly to decide how much crude oil to sell on the world market. Also, OPEC Plus countries together produce approximately 40% of world's crude oil and control about 80% of the world's proven oil reserves. From this, the correct answer is option C. This question has been taken with reference to UPSC previous year question, that is, other than Venezuela, which one among the following from South America is a member of OPEC? And given Argentina, Bolivia, Ecuador and Brazil. So we have learnt that OPEC has 12 member countries, that is Algeria, Congo, Gabon, Equatorial Guinea, Iraq, Iran, Kuwait, Libya, Nigeria, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Venezuela. Gabon rejoined the group in 2016. So other than Venezuela, Ecuador is a member of OPEC. Now coming to the next question. With reference to Digital Brand Identity Manual, consider the following statements and given. It aims to create a unified digital identity for all government ministries and platforms. Second, it comes under the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. Third, it aligns with the Prime Minister's vision of reform, perform and transform. And asked which of the above statements is or are correct. Now let us learn about it. Digital Brand Identity Manual is a framework for standardizing color palettes, typography and iconography across the digital identity of government websites, portals and social media platforms. It ensures a unified, accessible and citizen-centric digital experience across ministers and departments and comes under the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. Additionally, it is set to revolutionize citizen engagement, strengthen trust and enhance government service delivery in the digital space. Coming to the features of Digital Brand Identity Manual, first, DBIM Toolkit for ensuring uniformity in digital identity. Second, Government in CMS platforms for streamlined website management. Third, Central Content Publishing System for centralized content governance. Fourth, Social Media Campaign Guidelines to standardize digital communication. Now coming to the key components of the initiative, Digital Brand Identity Manual, DBIM Toolkit, Government in CMS platform, Central Content Publishing System, Social Media Integration. And this initiative focuses on simplifying and standardizing government websites, ensuring that citizens from diverse backgrounds can easily navigate and access essential government services. Also, DBIM aligns with Prime Minister's vision of reform, perform and transform. From this, the correct answer is option C. Here statement 1 is correct because it aims to create a unified digital identity for all government ministries and platforms. And statement 2 is also correct as it comes under the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. And statement 3 is also correct, that is, it aligns with the Prime Minister's vision of reform, perform and transform. This question has been taken with respect to UPSC previous year question, that is, which of the following is or are the aim or aims of Digital India Plan of Government of India? And given, first, formation of India's own internet companies like China did. Second, establish a policy framework to encourage overseas multinational corporations that collect big data to build their large data centers within our national geographical boundaries. Third, connect many of our villages to the internet and bring Wi-Fi to many of our schools, public places and major tourist centers. And now select the correct answer using the code given below. Basically, the Indian government launched the Digital India campaign to make government services available to citizens electronically by online infrastructure improvement and also by enhancing internet connectivity. Digital India was an initiative taken by the Government of India for providing high-speed internet networks to rural areas. Therefore, the correct answer is option B. That is, statement 3 is correct. Now coming to the next question. Bharat text, an initiative of Government of India, aims at, and given, a demand-driven program aimed at bridging skill gaps in the textile value chain. Option B, to boost the manufacturing of MMF fabrics, apparel and technical textiles. Option C, to promote an integrated textile ecosystem. And option D, to promote research, innovation, education and market development in technical textiles. Now let us learn about it. Bharat Text is India's largest global textile event which took place at Bharat Mandapam in New Delhi. Its key objective is to promote the government's vision of farm to fiber, fabric, fashion and foreign markets and to highlight India's leadership in the global textile sector. Coming to the economic significance of textile industry of India, that is, India is the 6th largest exporter of textile globally, contributing 8.21% of the country's total exports in the year 2023 to 24. The sector holds a 4.5% share in the global textile trade, with major export destinations being United States and European Union. Second, employment impact. It directly employs over 45 million people with over 100 million dependents on the sector, including women and rural workers, and aligns with the government initiatives such as Make in India, Skill India, Women Empowerment and Rural Youth Employment. Additionally, India's textile exports were valued at 3 lakh crore with a target to triple this to 9 lakh crore by 2030. From this, the correct answer is option A, that is, Bharat Text, an initiative of Government of India, a demand-driven program aimed at bridging skill gaps in the textile value chain. So this question has been taken with reference to UPSC previous year question, that is, consider the following statements and given, the value of Indo-Sri Lanka trade has consistently increased in the last decade. Second, textile and textile articles constitute an important item of trade between India and Bangladesh. Third, in the last 5 years, Nepal has been the largest trading partner of India in South Asia. And ask which of the statements given above is or are correct. Here, the Indo-Sri Lanka trade reached its peak in 2013 to 14 in the last decade. That means it has not been consistently increased in the last decade. Hence, statement 1 is incorrect. And here, Bangladesh is India's largest trading partner in South Asia, followed by Nepal, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Bhutan, Afghanistan and Maldives. So statement 2 is correct. And India imports from Bangladesh jumped to 22% to $1.2 billion. Garment and textile products make up for around 40% of the imports. Hence, Bangladesh has been the largest trading partner of India in South Asia. So statement 3 is incorrect. Therefore, the correct answer is option B. Now coming to the next question, with reference to Sri Santana Dharma Alayam, consider the following statements and given, the temple is dedicated to Lord Murugan and other deities. Second, it is the first ever temple in Bangkok in Thailand. Third, library around 2000 Hinduism books and Gurukul horse and big kitchen is one of the facilities of this temple. And ask which of the above statements is or are correct. Please pause and try to attempt this question. Now let us learn about it. Jakarta Murugan Temple is also known as Sri Santana Dharma Alayam, which is located in western part of Jakarta. It is the first ever temple in Indonesia dedicated to Lord Murugan. Significantly, the temple stands on a beacon of spirituality, culture and unity, and it was built on 4,000 square meter plot graciously donated by the DKI Jakarta government. Coming to its features, shrine dedicated to Lord Murugan and other deities. Second, a multi-purpose hall for community and cultural events. Third, a museum of Indo-Indian heritage in Indonesia showcasing the historical connection between the two cultures. Fourth, lush gardens providing a serene atmosphere for reflection and meditation. Fifth, it symbolizes the harmonious blending of Indian, Balinese and Javanese traditions while embracing the values of Pancasila. Sixth, it serves as a unifying space for spiritual practices, cultural exchange and tourism. Additionally, the Mahakumbhabhishekam ceremony will be led by His Holiness Dr. Shivasri K. Pichai Gurukul, a Vikash Ratna awardee, and supported by 72 Gurukuls from India. From this, the correct answer is option C. Here statement 1 is correct, that is, the temple is dedicated to Lord Murugan and other deities. And statement 2 is incorrect because it is the first ever temple in Indonesia dedicated to Lord Murugan. And statement 3 is correct, that is, one of its feature is library for around 2000 Hinduism books and Gurukul halls, and big kitchen is one of the facilities of this temple. This question has been taken with reference to UPSC previous year question, that is, with reference to Chausat Yogini temple situated near Morena. Consider the following statements and given. First, it is a circular temple built during the reign of Kachapagata dynasty. Second, it is the only circular temple built in India. Third, it was meant to promote the Vaishnava cult in the region. Fourth, its design has given rise to a popular belief that it was the inspiration behind the Indian Parliament building. Now here statement 1 is correct, that is, according to an inscription dated to 1323 century, the temple was built by the Kachapagata king Devapala, and it is said that the temple was the venue for providing education in astrology and mathematics based on the transit of the sun. And here statement 2 is incorrect because this circular temple is one among the very few such temples in India. It is not the only circular temple built in India. And statement 3 is incorrect. That is, it is also known as Ekatraso Mahadeva temple because of the presence of multitude of Shivalingas inside its cells. So it promotes Shaivite cult in the region, not Vaishnavite culture. And statement 4 is correct. That is, many of these curious visitors have compared this temple with the Indian Parliament building as both are circular in style. So many have drawn conclusions that this temple was the inspiration behind Parliament building. Now coming to the next question. With reference to Prashad scheme, consider the following statements and given. The scheme aims at paving the way for the development and promotion of religious tourism in India. Second, it is implemented by the Ministry of Culture. Third, finance assistance is provided to the union territories and state governments. And now select the correct statements using the code given below. Now let us learn about it. Pilgrimage, Rejuvenation and Spiritual Heritage Augmentation Drive is a central sector scheme under Ministry of Tourism. Additionally, it provides financial assistance to the state governments and union territories administration for development of tourism infrastructure at the pre-identified pilgrimage destinations, heritage cities. And it focuses on developing and identifying pilgrimage sites across India for enriching the religious tourism experience. Additionally, the scheme aims to integrate pilgrimage destinations in a prioritized, planned and sustainable manner to provide a complete religious tourism experience and to pave the way for the development and promotion of religious tourism in India. From this, the correct answer is option C. So here statement 1 is correct, that is, the scheme aims at paving the way for the development and promotion of religious tourism in India. And statement 2 is incorrect because it is implemented by the Ministry of Tourism but not Ministry of Culture. And statement 3 is correct, that is, financial assistance is provided to union territories and state governments as we have learned. So this question has been taken with reference to UPSC previous year question, that is, Swayam initiative of Government of India aims at, and given, promoting the self-help groups in rural areas. Option B, providing financial and technical assistance to young startup entrepreneurs. Option C, promoting the education and health of adolescent girls. And option D, providing affordable and quality education to the citizens for free. Basically, the Swayam initiative of the Government of India primarily aims at providing affordable and quality educations to the citizens for free. Here Swayam stands for Study Webs for Active Learning for Young Aspirants' Minds. and it is a platform that offers online course and programs in various subjects, including those at senior schooling, undergraduate and postgraduate levels. So therefore the correct answer is option D, that is Swayam, an initiative of Government of India, aims at providing affordable and quality education to the citizens for free. Now coming to the next question. Recently the term Majorana 1 is discussed in the context of which of the following, and given quantum computing chip, second a cyber attack, third stealth fighter jet, and option D a massive black hole. Now let us learn about it. Microsoft's Majorana 1 is a groundbreaking quantum chip that uses a new state of matter called topoconductor. It is a first quantum chip built on a topological core architecture which promises more stable and scalable qubits than previous design. This chip is designed to eventually scale to 1 million qubits, enabling quantum computers to tackle programs currently beyond the reach of classical computers. Now coming to its key features and technology. First, topological qubits, which is developed by using Majorana 0 mode, which are expected to be more stable and resistant to errors compared to traditional qubits. Also, it is fabricated using topoconductors made of indium arsenide and aluminium. Here, a topoconductor, also known as topological superconductor, is a new class of material that can generate a novel state of matter beyond the traditional solid, liquid or gas. And additionally, these Majorana particles was first theorized by Italian physicist Ettore Majorana over 80 years ago. And these particles are their own antiparticles, not naturally occurring. Now let us also learn about quantum computing. That is, it is a type of computing that uses the principles of quantum mechanics to process information. It uses quantum bits or qubits which can exist in multiple states simultaneously due to superposition. Now let us also learn about qubits. Qubits are the fundamental units of quantum computing, analogues to bits in classical computing, but with enhanced capabilities due to quantum properties. From this, the correct answer is option A. That is, the term Majorana 1 is discussed in the context of quantum computing chip. This question has been taken with reference to UPSC previous year question, that is, which of the following is the context in which the term qubit is mentioned, and given cloud services, option B quantum computing, option C visible light communication technologies, and option D wireless communication technologies. Basically, a qubit or quantum bit is the quantum mechanical analog of a classical bit. In classical computing, the information is enclosed in bits, where each bit can have a value of 0 or 1. Just like binary bit is the basic unit of information in classical computing, a qubit or quantum bit is the basic unit of information in quantum computing. Therefore, the correct answer is option B. Now coming to the next question, consider the following, and given nanoparticle coatings, option B UV light irradiation, and option C electrostatic filtration, and option D specialized filtration systems, and ask how many of the above mentioned are the key features of zero bacteria. Please pause and try to attempt this question. Now let us learn about it. Zero bacteria technology is an advanced water purification method which was developed by the Indian Institute of Science in Bengaluru, which aims to enhance the efficiency of sewage treatment plants. And it also aims to eliminate bacterial contamination and improve the quality of treated water. This type of technology is being considered for implementation in apartment sewage treatment plants by the Bangalore Water Supply and Sewage Board. It also addresses concerns about water quality and promotes sustainable water management. Now coming to its key features, first, nanoparticle coating, where silver nanoparticles disrupt bacterial cell membranes leading to their destruction. Second, UV light irradiation, where it deploys bacterial DNA preventing replication. And third, electrostatic filtration. Here, high voltage filters attract and trap bacteria. And fourth, specialized filtration systems, in which fine pore filters, sometimes infused with antimicrobial agents, remove bacteria efficiently. Now coming to its benefits, it produces high quality treated water suitable for reuse, and energy efficient and sustainable, reduces environmental contamination, and safe and non-toxic when applied in controlled settings. Now coming to its challenges, first, cost. Materials such as nanoparticle coatings, UV irradiation setups are expensive to install and to be maintained. Second, scalability. Adapting for large-scale sewage treatment plants or diverse water sources can be complex. Third, maintenance. Regular checkup is essential to ensure the effectiveness of filters and coatings, which can be resource incentive. And fourth, environmental concerns. The disposal of used nanoparticles pose ecological risk if not disposed properly. From this, the correct answer is option D. That is, nanoparticle coatings, UV light irradiation, electrostatic filtration, specialized filtration systems are the key features of zero bacteria. This question has been taken with reference to UPSC previous year question, that is, which of the statements is or are correct? And given, viruses can infect, and given bacteria, fungi and plants. And now select the correct answer using the code given below. Here, viruses are too small to be seen by the naked eye. They can't multiply by their own. So, they have to invade a host cell and take control on its machinery in order to be able to make more virus particles. So, virus infects all of the given organisms, that is bacteria, fungi and plant. So, therefore, the correct answer is option D. Now, coming to the next question. With reference to National Youth Parliament Scheme 2.0, consider the following. And given, it allows participation to all citizens instead of just those from recognized institutions. Second, the key objective is to strengthen the roots of democracy, inculcate discipline and tolerance for diverse views. Third, it was launched by the Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs. And asked, select the correct answer using the code given below. Now let us learn about it. National Youth Parliament Scheme 2.0 was launched by the Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs on 26 November 2019, which aims to expand the outreach of Youth Parliament program of the Ministry to all the recognized educational institutions of the country. Coming to its key objectives, that is to strengthen the roots of democracy, to inculcate healthy habits of discipline, tolerance of the views of others, and to enable the student community to know about practices and procedures of the Parliament, and to enhance their knowledge of the functioning of the government, constitutional values, and for living their life in a democratic way. From this, the correct answer is option D. Here, statement 1 is correct, that is, it allows participation to all citizens instead of just those from recognized institutions. And statement 2 is also correct, that is, the key objective is to strengthen the roots of democracy, inculcate discipline and tolerance for diverse views. And here statement 3 is also correct, that is, it was launched by the Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs. This question has been taken with reference to UPSC previous year question, that is, which one of the following is a purpose of UDAY, a scheme of government? And given, providing technical and financial assistance to startup entrepreneurs in the field of renewable source of energy. Option B, providing electricity to every household in the country by 2018. Option C, replacing the coal-based power plants with natural gas, nuclear, solar, wind and tidal power plants over a period of time. And option D, providing for financial turnaround and revival of power distribution companies. Here, UDAY stands for Ujjwal Discom Assurance Yojana and was launched by the Government of India in November 2015. The scheme was aimed at improving the financial health of power distribution companies in India. Therefore, the correct answer is option D. That is, the purpose of UDAY, a scheme of government, is to providing for financial turnaround and revival of power distribution companies. Now coming to the next question. With reference to petrification, consider the following statements. And given, petrification is a process by which organic material is preserved by being replaced with minerals over time. Second, only plant material can undergo the process of petrification. And asked, which of the statements given above is or are correct. Now let us learn about it. Petrified fossils are formed when the original organic material of a once living organism is slowly replaced by minerals, effectively turning to a stone. This occurs over an extended period of time through a process known as petrification or permineralization. While the most common petrified fossils are ancient plants, petrification can occur in animal remains as well, and mineral deposits fill internal voids or coat external surfaces, providing a cast of original organism. Here, petrified bones, shells, corals and even animal dung have been discovered. Additionally, the vibrant colors exhibited in some petrified specimens are caused by trace mineral deposits. Significantly, iron creates red, blue and purple hues, while carbon produces black and manganese yields pink. These mineral infusions provide petrified fossils with their stone-like appearance and properties. From this, the correct answer is option A. Here, statement 1 is correct, that is, petrification is a process by which organic material is preserved by being replaced with minerals over time. And second statement is incorrect because petrification can occur in animal remains as well. This question has been taken with reference to UPSC previous year question, that is, the word Denisovan is sometimes mentioned in media in reference to, and given fossils of a kind of dinosaurs. Option B, an early human species. Option C, a cave system found in northeast India. And option D, a geological period in the history of Indian subcontinent. Basically, Denisovans are an extinct group of humans only known from a few fragmentary fossils found in a Siberian cave called Denisova Cave. Therefore, the correct answer is option B. Now coming to the next question, consider the following and given. Statement 1, gross domestic product measures the total value of goods and services produced in a country. Second, gross domestic knowledge product focuses on capturing the economic and social impact of knowledge, innovation and intellectual assets. And ask which of the statements given above is or are correct. Now let us learn about it. The idea of gross domestic knowledge product was propounded by the Professor Salpaso of the University of Southern California, which aims to develop a framework to comprehensively capture the impact of knowledge on economic and social life in the country, and to quantify the contributions of knowledge, innovation and intellectual assets to the economy. Additionally, it measures nation's growth and future through 4 basic pillars. First, knowledge items. Second, country's knowledge producing matrix. Third, country's knowledge user matrix. And fourth, cost of learning. Now let us also see the difference between GDP and GDKP. GDP, that is gross domestic product, measures the total value of goods and services produced in a country. And gross domestic knowledge product focuses on capturing the economic and social impact of knowledge, innovation and intellectual assets. From this, the correct answer is option C. Here statement 1 is correct, that is gross domestic product measures the total value of goods and services produced in a country. And statement 2 is also correct, that is gross domestic knowledge product focuses on capturing the economic and social impact of knowledge, innovation and intellectual assets. This question has been taken with reference to UPSC previous year question, that is, a decrease in tax to GDP ratio of a country indicates which of the following, and given slowing economic growth rate. Second, less equitable distribution of national income. And ask select the correct answer using the code given below. Here the tax GDP ratio is an important parameter of changing structure of the government revenues and taxation. Economic growth rate is the rate at which nation's GDP changes or grows from one year to another. And a decrease in tax GDP ratio would result when the tax revenues grow at a slower rate than the GDP of a country. Thus, an increase in tax GDP ratio decreases the rate of economic growth. Thus, first statement is incorrect. And the second statement, that is less equitable distribution of national income, says that when income is not equitably distributed, a small section of the society tends to pocket a big chunk of national income. And a lower tax GDP ratio means lower tax revenues to government. Tax revenue to government imply equitable distribution of national income. Thus, statement 2 is correct. Therefore, the correct answer is option A. Now, coming to the next question, with reference to State of States report, consider the following statements and given. The report assesses the performance of Indian state and union territories, that is UTs, in achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. Second, the report excludes SDG 14, that is life below water, as it is relevant only to coastal states. Third, the report is published annually by the Niti Aayog. And ask select the correct answer using the code given below. Now let us learn about it. State of State report provides a comprehensive assessment of India's SDG progress at the state level, which identifies key goals and indicators that demand urgent attention over next 5 years. Now coming to its key findings, India lags in 9 of 16 SDGs, and all 36 Indian states and union territories have achieved at least half of the target in only 4 of the 15 Sustainable Development Goals. Third, India achieved 65% of Sustainable Development Goal, which ensures dignified life for citizens. Also, India achieved less than 65% of Sustainable Development Goals target, which ensures fairer society for citizens. And India has also achieved less than 65% of Sustainable Development Goal, which ensures the fairer society for citizens. From this, the correct answer is option D. Here, statement 1 is correct, that is, the report assesses the performance of Indian states and union territories in achieving Sustainable Development Goals. And statement 2 is also correct, that is, the report excludes Sustainable Development Goal 14, that is life below water, as it is relevant only to coastal states. And statement 3 is also correct, that is, the report is published annually by the Niti Aayog. This question has been taken with reference to UPSC previous year question, that is, which of the following is or are the indicator or indicators used by IFPRI to compute Global Hunger Index report? Undernourishment, child stunning and child mortality. And asked, select the correct answer using the code given below. Here, the Global Hunger Index is a tool designed to comprehensively measure and track hunger at global, regional and national levels, reflecting multiple dimensions of hunger over time, and it is calculated on a 100-point scale reflecting the severity of hunger, that is 0 is the best score and 100 is the worst. Additionally, the Global Hunger Index score is calculated based on 4 indicators that together capture the multidimensional nature of hunger. First, undernourishment, that is the share of population whose caloric intake is insufficient. Second, child stunning, the share of children under the age of 5 who have low height for their age, reflecting chronic undernutrition. Third, child wasting. Here the share of children under the age of 5 who have low weight for their height, reflecting acute undernutrition. And child mortality. Here the share of children who die before their 5th birthday, reflecting in part of fatal mix of inadequate nutrition and unhealthy environments. Therefore, the correct answer is option C. That is, undernourishment, child stunning, child mortality and also child wasting are the indicators of Global Hunger Index report. Now coming to the next question, with reference to Gyan Bharat mission, consider the following statements and given. It aims to survey, document and preserve India's manuscript heritage. Second, it is a central sponsored scheme. Third, it is an autonomous body under the Ministry of Culture. And asked, select the correct statements using the code given below. Now let us learn about it. The Gyan Bharat mission is a new initiative announced in the Union Budget 2025-26 for preserving India's manuscript, which aims to survey, document and preserve India's manuscript heritage held by academic institutions, museums, libraries and private collectors. Here more than 1 crore manuscripts will be covered under this scheme, and it is a central sector scheme. Additionally, to accommodate this mission, budget allocation for the National Manuscript Mission has been increased from 3.5 crore to 60 crores. Now coming to the key highlights. First, National Digital Archive, that is, establishment of a centralized digital repository for India's knowledge system. Second, implementing agency. Here the National Mission for Manuscripts is to oversee preservation efforts. Third, parent institution. Indira Gandhi Center for Arts supports and guides this initiative. Fourth, increased budget allocation. Here funding raised from 3.5 crore to 60 crore for enhanced conservation. Fifth, global accessibility, which ensures manuscripts are preserved, digitized and made available worldwide. Now let us also discuss what is manuscript. It is a handwritten document created on material like paper, bark, cloth, metal or palm leaves at least 75 years old with scientific, historical and artistic significance. Here lithographs and printed books do not qualify as manuscripts, and it is found in multiple languages and script. For example, Sanskrit in Devanagari, Grantha and Oriya. Unlike historical records such as epigraphs or firmans, manuscripts contain knowledge-based content rather than direct historical records. From this, the correct answer is option C. Here statement 1 is correct, that is, as it aims to survey, document and preserve India's manuscript heritage. And statement 2 is incorrect because it is a central sector scheme. And statement 3 is correct, that is, it is an autonomous body under the Ministry of Culture. This question has been taken with reference to UPSC previous year question, that is, Atal Innovation Mission is set up under the and given Department of Science and Technology, Ministry of Labour and Employment, Niti Aayog and Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. Basically, Atal Innovation Mission is a flagship initiative set up by the Niti Aayog in 2016, which aims to promote innovation and entrepreneurship across the length and breadth of the country. Its objectives are to create and promote an ecosystem of innovation and entrepreneurship across the country at school, university, research institutions, MSME and industry levels. Therefore, the correct answer is option C. So that's it for today, and we will be back with another monthly current affairs which will help in your UPSC preparation. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.